This is the Buzz Adams Morning Show podcast. Barstool Talk Daily. Except it's really early in the morning and no booze. For the most part.
Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a town square media station.
Good morning.
Oh, no, it isn't.
I'm tired! Gonna be honest, did a little too much, gave you a little too much. We're gonna bring it down.
It's today Tuesday.
Actually, today is Weekend Tuesday.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Yeah, it's like a casual Friday, but even more chill, and on a Tuesday.
So let's get this party started.
It's showtime!
From the KLAQ studios in beautiful sunny El Paso, Texas.
Does anyone copy my transmission?
The Buzz Adams Morning Show is back.
Good morning, my neighbor!
Only on 95.5 KLAQ El Paso.
Thank you, and good morning. Welcome, everybody, to our show for this Tuesday morning, 2 for Tuesday. So listen up after the morning show's over. You'll hear selected double shots throughout the day. Not everything is going to be a twofer, but we will have plenty sprinkled in. And since it is June and we are celebrating Judas Priest, I wouldn't be surprised if you don't hear some Judas Priest double shots today. Joanna, you know it's Judas Priest, right?
It's Judas Priest, yeah.
Remind me again of what we're trying to work it so every month has its own rock theme. What's
Yeah.
July supposed to be?
July will be July-Iron Maiden.
July-Iron Maiden. And August?
August.
Wow. September. You know, they were doing September. But the first job I ever got at a rock radio station, they were doing September and Rocktober. So, is there any chance that I'm going to be finally taken seriously for my idea for December's theme?
I think they're seriously considering
God,
it.
because it's been years that I've wanted the entire month of December to be proclaimed AC Diciembre. So hopefully this is the year that the magic happens. Good morning, Joanna. How was
Good morning.
How was your day and evening? You get a good night's rest?
I did, yeah.
Great to hear that. I bet you're wondering about El Paso weather today, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Let's go ahead and take a look at El Paso weather. It's brought to you by Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. So this is the golfer's forecast. It's going to be back up in triple digits all week through the weekend. And I guess this is just summer now. It's not summer until...
Are these the dog days of summer?
No, there's a specific... the dog days of summer... Gosh, I want to say like late summer, but I'd be speaking out of class here. I'm not exactly sure when those are, but it's not even summer yet, so I don't think it's the dog days of summer. Do you remember when summer starts this year? The 20th
The
or the
21st?
21st. Okay, I think you might be right. Sunny today, 101 for the high temperature. The good news here, though, is no rain in the forecast for the week. And although we could probably use a little rain. And winds are going to stay calm, mostly under 10 miles an hour today. For tomorrow, it's 106, so a little warmer. We're going to turn it up a bit for tomorrow. Sunny, 106 tomorrow, and again, those moderate winds blowing. Sunny on Thursday, and here's the one we really got to look at. I mean, these are heat advisory days when they get this warm, but this one is really, really going to be the warmest day of the year on Thursday. 108 for the high temperature. So, you know, the good thing about Thursdays, when we have our Cool Canyon Nights at McElligin Canyon Amphitheater, the shadow from the mountain and just the fact that the music doesn't get started until after 6, and then the main amphitheater doesn't get started until after 7. The sun, it's not hot out there, or it hasn't been anyway. Although I would say, you know, you want to stay hydrated. So
For sure.
You get water there at the park. It is a free concert every Thursday. Parking is free as well at McElligin Canyon Amphitheater. And I'm going to get off track here just a second to let you know about this week's entertainment. Dave Hamilton, who is well known for playing in many of El Paso's favorite bands, including Funky Mungle, is bringing his electric cello experience to the main stage. And he's going to be joined by a bunch of other really, really talented musicians. So it is the full Electric Dave Orchestra at Cool Canyon Nights. And last year, Dave played the patio stage for us, and he was playing songs by Led Zeppelin and Hailstorm and Nirvana and Pink Floyd, Metallica, and many others. So that is Thursday at Cool Canyon Nights. Come out and see Dave Hamilton on the electric cello and bass guitar, Gil Mata on guitar, Armando, the phenomenal DJ, Christian on the electric violin, and many, many talented musicians including Dave's daughter, Kasia, doing vocals. So that is the Electric Dave Orchestra, is going to take you on a musical journey from everything from rock to disco, some blues. It's EDO, the Electric Dave Orchestra, playing hits by some of your favorite rock and roll artists, including Disturbed and AC/DC this Thursday at McKelligon Canyon Amphitheater. As I say, the afternoon highs are going to continue to be in the 100s, so triple-digit heat all week long, but 108 is really standing out as the warmest day in the forecast this week. El Paso weather brought to you by Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. You can set up all your tee times and reservations online at painteddunes.com. That's painteddunes.com, or call the Pro Shop at 915-821-2122. Joanna Barba is going to have the Hollywood Cheesemade coming up later on the show. So, Joanna,
Yes.
if you could give us a preview of what's coming up in our Hollywood report, please.
Of course, this one kind of flew under the radar, but Netflix's Butterfly in the Sky, a documentary about reading Rainbow, is getting a lot of praise, and it'll make you feel like a kid all over again.
Yeah, I'd aged out before that one ever came on the air.
Ah, yes.
Did it have LeVar Burton?
It did, yeah. I used to love reading Rainbow.
Is it the one that goes, rainbow, butterfly in the sky, I can fly
go
twice as high.
Take a look.
It's in a book, reading Rainbow.
Hell yeah, it is.
Okay. I was just realizing, like, a lot of the things that I had already aged out of. Like when Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out, I was like in college.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. It seemed like it was real baby stuff. What's something that you were just a little slightly too old for?
Hannah Montana.
Oh, you were a little too old
Yeah.
for Hannah. What were you? You're
I
probably,
had already graduated high school.
You've got to be like Miley Cyrus's age or around about.
I think she just turned 30.
Miley just turned, I guess she'd been on TV for so long.
Right.
All right, so we're going to have that in the Hollywood Cheesemade coming up a bit later. We're going to have random facts on the way for you today. I know that summer's here, school's out now. School ended in El Paso school districts on Friday. I want to tell you about a summer camp because a lot of parents are probably interested in a summer camp. And
yeah.
later I want to give you the details on this, but let me tell you a little bit now. Chick-fil-A is holding a summer camp. That's right. It's the Chick-fil-A summer camp. It's a day-long summer camp in Louisiana, and it's for preteens between the ages of 5 and 12.
Oh, wow.
The purpose of the camp is to teach them how to work at a Chick-fil-A. They're also charging parents $35 a day to send their kids to learn how to work at Chick-fil-A. And my thinking is a little split on this. By the way,
Okay.
it's not like a camp. It doesn't sound like a camp. It sounds like it's going to be at a Chick-fil-A.
Are they just getting kids to, like,
Right.
run things?
I'm reading the story and it's starting to dawn on me. It's like, wait a
Wait a
second.
minute.
Is this a way to trick? I know we got Chinese 5-year-olds who make a lot of the products that we enjoy and take for granted. Are we going to try and train American 5-year-olds how to work for a major international company? The Chick-fil-A is going to be hosting day-long summer camps for kids as young as 5. And parents will have to pay $35. But on the other hand, I will say, when you go to Chick-fil-A, you notice the overall quality. Like, they don't have any slackers working at Chick-fil-A.
Oh, for sure.
Everybody there speaks distinctly. They look you in the
Super
eye. They say
polite.
thank you. Nobody's stoned out of their mind. It's like they are the creme de la creme of the fast food employee world. So,
Super polite.
yeah, really, really good. So I guess it's like an elite minimum wage job. All right, we've got a lot coming up on the show today, including we'll find out more about the Chick-fil-A summer camp a little bit later this morning. If, well, it just passed 10 minutes after, so you know what that means.
What's that?
You know what that means, don't you?
What does it mean?
I get to play Nico's song.
Oh, the
You're late
theme.
to work. Who gives a f? You boss, I'm late. I'm late. I'm late.
You gotta change it so I can say F you buzz.
F you, Buzz. I can do that. There you go.
I'm late. I'm late. You gonna fire me? There's no one else here, bitch. Late.
All right, we'll come back in just a moment. We'll have today and sound clips on the way for you in just a few moments.
The Daily Calendar. It's June 11th, and it's King Kamehameha Day in Hawaii. He united all the islands in 1810. It's also Making Life More Beautiful Day, which doesn't sound like a bad idea. And if you see any street art suddenly appear made out of yarn, it's Yarn Bombing Day.
Yarn.
So crochet away. Happy June 11th. That's your Daily Calendar.
Double G here. Coming up after the Buzz Adams Morning Show at 10, featured double shots throughout the day.
It's available. Mention see 15% off. Visit sanitize915.com for more info.
Originating in El Paso for El Paso, the Buzz Adams Morning Show, 95.5 KLAQ.
All right, we're going to get to today in sound clips here in just a moment. I was mentioning Cool Canyon Nights, our free concert series every Thursday night. We have another concert series every Wednesday night. It is also free. So come out this Wednesday, tomorrow night, to the State Line Restaurant, 1222 Sunland Park Drive. And it's Dusty Lowe, who we know well. We like those guys quite a bit. Dusty Lowe is going to be performing, and you can see them free at the State Line Restaurant tomorrow night. Also, we'll have prizes to give away. They've got multiple bars opened on the outside patio. There's another place you don't have to worry about being out in the sun. They got a lot of trees and shade there, and you can stay cool with an ice-cold beverage, win some free stuff, eat some tasty barbecue, listen to some fine music from Dusty Lowe tomorrow at the State Line Restaurant. And I probably should have mentioned some of our Cool Canyon Night sponsors, especially Westar, but also L&F Distributing, White Claw Hard Seltzer, Charlie Clark Nissan, Johnson's Jewelers, and Superior Sign and Lighting. They sponsor our free Thursday night concerts at McKelligan Canyon Amphitheater. And we want to thank everybody who contributes to that and everybody who comes out to watch these very, very talented artists. All right, let's get things started.
And now, today in sound clips.
And we're going to start with today in sound clips, all of the day's news with accompanying sound bites and actualities. We're going to hear a little bit from U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken talking about the war in Israel and Gaza. Some officials are saying the Biden administration is talking about possibly negotiating directly with Hamas to secure the release of 5 Americans being held hostage in Gaza. This would be a pretty bold move here, but, you know, these are Americans, so you could make the claim, you know, we have, and I think it's might be correct, that we have the right to negotiate to bring the Americans home, if not all the hostages. The potential negotiations, if it turns out to be true, and if this decides to be the path they go, would not include Israel. The White House has so far declined to comment on this possibility. Secretary of State Antony Blinken was in Israel yesterday to discuss the ceasefire deal currently on the table and refused to comment on any potential direct negotiations between the U.S. and Hamas. Now, the deal that is on the table was negotiated with the help of the U.S. It has already been agreed to by Israel, but Hamas has not agreed to the ceasefire. Speaking in Israel yesterday, Secretary of State Blinken said the only thing standing in the way of the ceasefire is Hamas.
Israel has accepted the proposal. The only party that has not accepted, the only party that's not said yes, is Hamas. That's who everyone's waiting on.
Blinken said the best way to get the hostages home is the deal that's being offered now. It just needs Hamas to agree to the deal. And he would not directly talk about these reports that the U.S. may deal directly with Hamas, but he says that his top priority is getting any U.S. hostages released.
My number one priority as Secretary of State is to ensure the well-being of Americans who are in harm's way anywhere in the world.
Blinken was asked about engaging in talks directly with Hamas, and here's how he answered.
The most effective way to do that, to achieve that, to actually get them home, is through the proposal that's on the table. So let's see if we get an answer from Hamas.
Apple announced a bunch of new AI stuff for your iPhone, your Mac, and your iPad. And I have 2 out of 3 of those things, so I should be pretty interested in this, right?
Okay.
Yeah. During yesterday's Apple WWDC, Tim Cook announced the integration of artificial intelligence into your favorite Apple products.
Oh.
Introducing Apple Intelligence, the new personal intelligence system that makes your most personal products even more useful and delightful.
The new tech, named Apple Intelligence, will also be integrated into Siri, allowing Siri to retain context from previous requests and improve its language comprehension. Well, it definitely does that because Siri still cannot pronounce a Jewish name or a Hispanic name. Call Luis Aguilar. Do you mean Luis Aguilar? Yes, I guess I mean Luis Aguilar.
Yeah, him.
Call Steve Kaplowitz. Do you mean Steve Kalopitz? Or however Siri's kind of a dummy. When you get right down to it. Here's a little bit more. The Apple team says Apple Intelligence will use your data to give a customer experience tailored for everyone.
It draws on your personal context to give you intelligence that's most helpful and relevant for you. It protects your privacy at every step, and it is deeply integrated into our platforms and throughout the apps you rely on to communicate, work, and express yourself.
The move is being called the most important decision made by Apple in the last 10 years. The company has spent recent years issuing new models of its signature items, and in its latest earnings report, smartphone sales dropped 10% and iPad sales dropped 17%. Well, you know what, like this news will probably accomplish is everybody will hold off buying a phone. Like people who are ready to buy a new iPad or a new iPhone are like, well, I guess I'm going to wait until this magical AI technology is on my phone. I wonder what's the oldest iPhone that anybody still has that they use.
Oh, yeah. That's a good question. Which one's yours?
11, I think.
And what is this one?
Oh, but the first one I had was the original.
Yeah, but the one you're using now is not one of the newest ones?
No, I think there have been 3, maybe 3 at least, I think, since then. The Apple team also talked about how AI is being integrated into Siri.
Even if you don't know exactly what a feature is called, you can just describe it, and Siri will find the info you're looking for.
Hey, Siri, find me that thing. You tap a button, it tells you what song's playing on the radio. We should play We should play the Siri game, Joanna.
What's the Siri game?
I describe an app that I want to open, and you pretend to be Siri and try and figure out what I'm talking about. So let's try it real quick. Hey, okay. Siri, open the thing that tells you what song's playing on the radio.
Do you mean Shazam?
Yes, thank you, Siri. Open Shazam.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. Let's see. Are we ready to move on to kind of like the soft news? Okay. Oh, let me talk about this real quick. Donald Trump made a couple of virtual appearances. The first one was from Mar-a-Lago, and it was with his probation officer. The probation officer is in New York City, where Trump was convicted of felony charges of campaign tampering. Trump later in the day made a virtual appearance during the Life and Liberty Forum hosted by the Danbury Institute. The Danbury Institute is dedicated to promoting Judeo-Christian values and has taken a strong stance against reproductive rights. While Trump did not refer to abortion or other criticism from religious conservative leaders, including his own former Vice President Mike Pence, he thanked the conference for their support.
I want to thank each and every one of you for your tremendous devotion to God and to country and your tremendous support of me. And I hope I've earned it because we've done things that nobody thought were possible.
All right. Good morning, Nico Ajimian.
Good morning, Booz Adam. I tried to call you and I said, hey, Google, call Buzz Adams.
I think Siri still totally gets names that are not even close to one another. And also, you can tell Siri's not an AI because I'll say to call my daughter, call Maddie, calling Mary Pat.
I don't even know who that is.
Well, I do. It's one of my neighbors,
Oh.
but I don't want to call Mary Pat right now.
No, it's the opposite. I'm saying your name, and it's giving me the Spanish pronunciation.
Oh, and what's the Spanish pronunciation again?
Booze.
Ridiculous.
Booze.
In the NHL Finals, they played back-to-back games, so the Florida Panthers won Game 1 on Sunday. They won Game 2 last night, defeating the Edmonton Oilers 4-1. Here is the call from the Stanley Cup Finals.
The Oilers have scored one goal. Impossible to win like that. The Panthers are full marks for winning their 2 home games and a 2-0 series lead.
So in our Major League Sports series, you got the NBA Finals going on. You got the NHL Finals. And both series have 2-0 leads with the Celtics up 2-0 over the Dallas Mavericks. A vacationing doctor helped save a 15-year-old shark attack victim. I don't know if you've heard, but there have been, either there's an extraordinarily large number of shark attacks or it's just in the news cycle this time around.
Oh, yeah, I'm seeing it a lot on the news.
Interesting story. This illustrates what they mean by the news cycle. So the one cruise I ever went on in my life was in 2001. I went on a cruise, and all anybody was talking about was the summer of sharks. And everybody, you got Germans and all kinds of Europeans and people from South America on the trip. Everybody was talking about how insane the shark attacks were. So I get back on a Sunday. I go to work Monday. Then Tuesday is 9/11. And guess what happened to all the shark attack stories, which had been kind of like the headline of the summer?
Forgot all about it.
You never heard a mention for the rest of the year.
Oh, my God.
About shark attacks. While vacationing in the Florida Panhandle on Friday, a doctor named, and I'm not making this up, this is the doctor's name, Muhammad Ali, was there with his family. Luckily, several nurses and 2 doctors happened to be on the beach, including Dr. Ali. He and the other doctor tied tourniquets to her leg and hand and saved her life.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so here's a little bit of audio from Dr. Muhammad Ali.
We all started running out of the water. I grabbed my son, he grabbed his daughter, and we running toward the beach, saw cloudy red water from the shark attack.
Looked down there and saw the severity of the injury. I realized that anybody who had any kind of medical knowledge needed to help.
Amazing that it was just kind of God's will that everybody was there to help at the same time.
Oh, my God. Imagine being eaten by a shark.
Yeah. I saw that movie Open Water. You ever seen that?
Oh, God, that one's so scary.
Right.
About the 2 people who are floating there the whole time.
And it's really, it could have been filmed for like $200 because really it's just people floating in the water.
Right.
But it's effective. Perhaps you've seen this video, but a police sniper killed a suspect in an armed bank robbery who was holding hostages. He shot through a computer monitor to kill the suspect. And the video has been released. Here are some comments from Sheriff Carmine Marceno talking about this dramatic video.
I couldn't be more proud of the men and women of law enforcement today, my family members today, the SWAT team today. How you train is how you perform. And this is exactly what we train for. We train for worst case scenario. We train for hostage negotiations.
This was a hostage situation. The police sniper shot just so happened to need to go through a computer monitor, which it did, and he made the shot.
We tried to negotiate with him continuously, said Sheriff Carmine Marceno.
Yeah. And there was a very recognizable face in the crowd of The View yesterday. And Whoopi Goldberg noticed that this very, very famous person was sitting in the audience of yesterday's The View.
Oh, snap. There's Ryan Reynolds. So how come?
Well, okay. By the way, this is way less stressful than up there. My mom is here visiting her grandkids, and yesterday she said it's my dream to go to The View. First off, I try to do what she says because you don't know what she's capable of. Unspeakable violence. So I didn't want to taste the back of her hand. So I said, let's go to The View. So we made a call. I told them I'm Blake's husband. I'd love to come to The View. Actually, yes.
Who are you? I'm Blake Lively's husband.
You know there's no way that Ryan Reynolds called anybody. Ryan Reynolds had somebody call somebody who then might have called somebody else and got them tickets to The View.
Oh, he's got a Nico, too.
He's got a Nico?
Yeah.
Then he must have been late for the start of the show. So my understanding is most of these let you in free. There's not a charge to go to a taping of The View or whatever.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, but I think you gotta get there early or something.
To get in line for tickets?
Yeah.
God, The View has been epic for the past week. Joanna, did you see Whoopi Goldberg had all the kids from Sister Act 2?
Yeah.
Did you do that in your news?
No.
Kids? I thought it was about nuns.
Have you never seen Sister Act 2?
I've never seen
Back in the Habit?
There you go. Back in the Habit.
I never saw either one of the Sister Act movies.
Oh, amazing.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, I forget. Buzz doesn't like joy.
I wanted to be Dolores someday.
Who was that? Kathy and Jimmy's character?
No. Sister Mary Clarence.
Sister Mary Clarence. God, I didn't know you liked Sister Act so much. So they had all the kids on the...
They did, yeah. Minus Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
Wait, what's that mean?
Well,
Lauryn Hill was in the movie.
Did she die or something?
No, I don't think she just did it.
Let me back up. Who is Lauryn Hill?
Oh my God. I don't have time to explain all this.
Yeah, seriously.
Was she like a kid star or something?
You don't know who Lauryn Hill is?
Dude,
yes, you do.
Yeah.
Stop acting dumb.
Is she Missy Elliott?
Okay. Come on. All right.
Yeah.
Was she in a band?
Yes.
What was her band called? No, I'm serious.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I can't tell, Nico.
It's not.
I don't have time to explain this to
You guys don't know. Do you know?
Do you know?
No, I'm telling you, I don't know who Lauryn Hill is.
The Fugees. What's wrong with you?
Are they the ones that had I'm coming out, so you better get this party started?
Well, that's Pink.
Oh,
crap. But I guess good try.
They're the ones who do Let's Get It Started here.
That's the Black Eyed Peas.
Crap.
This is only getting worse. You should stop.
Yeah.
Well, I only sound as ignorant about this music as Nico does when he talks about rock music, so.
You sound more ignorant.
I'm not into that world, man.
You know what? First off, dishonor on you for not knowing any of the Sister Act movies. Dishonor on your cow for not even knowing who Lauryn Hill was.
Any more dishonor to heap upon me?
In your family.
And your family. A curse upon them all.
So the speculation about Dan Hurley leaving UConn to go to coach the Los Angeles Lakers is over. I guess Hurley has made the decision to stay at the University of Connecticut, where he has won back-to-back national championships. Adrian Wojnarowski reports on why Dan Hurley may have chosen to stay at UConn instead of going to the Lakers.
I know we talked to, especially in the last few days, other coaches who made the jump. I think he had a lot of encouragement to do it if he felt ready. But I think the common theme he heard from people was, if you still feel like you've got things left to do in college, especially with his UConn team, that might be a reason to stay back. And ultimately, that's what Dan Hurley's done.
All right. And Billie Eilish, who I became a fan of because of Night Country, True Detective Night Country.
Da-na-na, da-na-na-na,
Buddy wants me. Buddy, ba-dum-da.
Oh, man, I had it. And I lost it.
So Billie Eilish is talking a lot. She says that when she got really famous, she lost all of her friends because she couldn't relate to them anymore.
Because she was famous and rich?
Well, she said she just couldn't relate to them anymore. I don't know. It does kind of sound like that's what she's saying. I'm sure they wanted to relate to her.
I got famous and rich.
She's all like, I can't relate to these
can't relate to these peasants
mean,
anymore.
It's your fault if you stay behind.
She said that a couple of years ago, she finally reconnected with some of the friends that she had before she was super famous, and now she has her own crew, sort of. She also says she was ghosted by a guy that she knew for years. This was during an appearance on the Miss Me podcast. Billie Eilish shares her experience being ghosted by a guy.
It was like somebody that I'd also known for years and had a plan. Day of, on the phone, making a plan. This is my address. Be there at 3. Never heard from him again.
Oh.
Yeah.
It happens, girl.
Poor baby.
I mean, I like her performance and everything, but it sounds like maybe she is kind of a self-involved snob a little bit. Maybe that's why the guy didn't show up on the date. You know what I mean?
I mean, I just don't know what to say to them anymore.
They don't, I said, let's go to Venice. Let's just get a private plane and go to Venice. And all of them said, we have to work on Monday.
And I just don't relate to that
I just cannot
anymore.
relate to that anymore. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Woo! 2 for Tuesday. We're going to have double shots coming up with Glenn Garza starting at 10 o'clock and then all day until Loudwire Nights tonight at 7. And it's Tuesday. You know what that also means?
What?
Taco Tuesday!
Yeah!
Tacos are the best food that I've tried. When the meat is ground and the beans refried in a soft or crunchy shell, I think both as well. It's my favorite food. They taste so good. Oh boy, it's Taco Tuesday. You're the best day of the week. As soon as I can get some tacos, you know I'm gonna eat them. I love tacos more than burgers or Chinese. I love them with lettuce and shredded cheese. I love Taco Supreme. They come with sour cream inside a shell. They're good as hell. Yeah! Oh boy, it's Taco Tuesday. Why aren't I eating tacos yet? As soon as this song is over,
95.5 KLAQ.
95.5 KLAQ and a little live Judas Priest for you.
What in Judas Rockin' Priest is going on around here?
It is Judas Priest, so we're playing a lot of alternate tracks, Judas Priest live. We're probably have some double shots of Judas Priest, all because it's Judas Priest on 95.5 KLAQ. Be listening for extra Judas Priest all month long. We also have digital downloads of their latest album. So check that out. It's called Invincible Shield. And we're going to have extra Judas Priest song blocks throughout the entire month and lots of opportunities for you to win digital downloads of that new Priest album, Invincible Shield. We have declared it officially. The month of June is Judas Priest.
You know,
that kind of works, kind of ties in with Pride
Month.
too.
I was just about to say that. Oh my gosh, we had the exact same thought. That's I was going to say it's Pride Month. Isn't the lead singer for Judas Priest like gay?
Yeah, he came out like 30-something years ago.
Like that's pretty progressive for rock, right?
Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden, what was great was you had a lot of metal fans, many of them teenage or young men who had posters of Rob Halford dressed in leather gear on their wall. And then he came out as gay, I think in like 1990, 91, something like that.
Why is he always wearing leather chaps?
Because he's hell-bent for leather. That's what's going on with all the Judas Priest that you're hearing this month. I got no problem with it at all. Let's get to the Mo Show calendar and daily almanac of events. Today is Tuesday. It is June the 11th, National Cotton Candy Day. Now, there is a treat that I only need to experience, I don't know, maybe once a year, once every other year.
Yeah?
You know, at the fair.
It's just what, it's a little sugary.
If I ever go to the circus, other than that, yeah. I mean, it's a little, I think it's basically sugar.
Yeah.
It's whipped up into the cotton candy form. Today is National Get Outdoors Day. Well, if you do that, definitely take some water to stay hydrated because it's going to be up in triple digits again today.
Yesterday.
Yesterday it says it only got to 96, but I'm not sure about that.
Joanna, do you have central air conditioning?
Like a swamp cooler?
No, that's just the opposite.
No, I got a swamp cooler.
Okay.
Every now and then somebody go throw some water on that cooler. So there's my nephews out there with the hose.
Today is also Ride Your Motorcycle to Work Day.
Woo!
We should take bets on if Glenn's going to ride his motorcycle in
Right?
or his car today. Birthdays today include actor Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf? How do you say his name? LaBeouf.
There's a video of him at Disneyland. Have you seen this, Joanna?
No.
I think maybe this past month he was at Disneyland with his child. Like he's wearing his child on his back.
You mean he's giving him a piggyback ride?
No. Do you know what I'm talking about?
He's like in a papoose?
Yeah, something. Yes. He is in like a papoose on his back. And another fan says, hey, my son or nephew or something is your biggest fan. And he got so scared and nervous to see you that he ran off and hid somewhere in the park.
Yeah.
And so Shia LaBeouf is like, let's go find him. And then they go off together to find him.
And did they find him?
We never know.
Okay.
We never know.
Actor Peter Dinklage is 55, who played Tyrion Lannister on Game of Thrones. Do you know how I know that Peter Dinklage is a great, not just a great actor?
Huh.
His last name is
Dinklage. No. Now think about it for a second. I think the answer will come to you. How do we know that Peter Dinklage is a great actor?
Tiny man, big personality?
Nope.
I don't know. How?
I think he was the only American who was in the cast of Game of Thrones.
Oh. He's not British?
What?
No.
Did he just reverse Hugh Laurie? Yeah.
No, Peter Dinklage is American.
Really?
What is Pedro Pascal?
He's from New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Pedro Pascal? He is Chilean.
Yeah, but he's, I mean, come
American.
on. Yeah, but
He's American.
where was he born?
Chile.
Oh, he was. All right.
Yes, but he moved to America.
I was trying to think of another American who was in, and that was a cast of, no joke here, thousands that were in Game of Thrones over the years. And I think Peter Dinklage, as far as I know, was the only American.
Yeah, he did a great job.
TV doctor, well, real life doctor too, and failed Senate candidate Dr. Mehmet Oz turned 64 today. You know who he lost to? He was running in Pennsylvania.
John Fetterman. Yeah. The doctor lost to the stroke patient.
I don't know if they had a debate, but it would have looked weird because John Fetterman is so big and Dr. Oz is such a tiny little man. If Dr. Oz got on John Fetterman's shoulders, they'd look like Master Blaster from Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Hugh Laurie from House.
Oh, hey, I was just mentioning him.
Hugh Laurie turned 65 today.
Hugh Laurie in House has such a good American accent that you would never be. When I found out he was actually British, my mind was blown.
You didn't know Hugh Laurie was British? You never watched?
Not from watching House.
But you had never seen Blackadder?
No, I hadn't seen Blackadder.
What was that show that was on a spaceship that he was on? Josh Gad was in it. God, do you remember? They were on a spaceship.
Yeah.
And he was the captain.
Came out way later.
He was only an actor that pretended to be the captain. I mean, he was a captain, but he was just an actor, I think.
God, what is the name of that?
Fifth Avenue? Or Avenue 5? Anyway,
no, that sounds like a reality show.
I kind of enjoed the first season.
Yeah, it was good.
But the quality really went off the cliff.
That's one of the things we watched during pandemic.
Yeah, it probably was. Avenue 12, something like that.
He's also Stuart Little's dad.
Oh, yeah, he is.
So Hugh Laurie is 65 today. Football Hall of Famer and Super Bowl champs and one of the true greats. Many people might have considered him the greatest of all time until Tom Brady came along, but Joe Montana is having a birthday today.
Happy birthday.
Super Bowl Joe Montana is 68 today. He started in 4 Super Bowls, and his Super Bowl record is 4-0. Tom Brady can't say that he won every Super Bowl that he ever played in, though. From your television news viewing, Greta Van Susteren is 70 today. ZZ Top drummer Frank Beard, the only man in the band not to have a beard, is Frank Beard, and he turns 75 today. And 80s hottie and scream queen Adrienne Barbeau is having a birthday. She's 79. Also, if you want to look back on history, I know that they're on like season 50 or something on American Idol.
Mm-hmm. At least, yeah.
But that doesn't mean that they've been around since the 60s. It's been 22 years. In 2002, the very first season of American Idol premiered. I guess that's a prestige thing for them. It's like, hey, it's a new season. We did 3 this year, so
we got 3 seasons.
We're coming up on our 100th season on the air.
All right, let me ask you: can you remember the first winner of American Got Talent? Not America's Got Talent. American Idol.
Kelly Clarkson.
Mm-hmm. What about the runner-up?
Justin Guarini.
Yeah.
Nice.
Also known as the little dude on the Dr. Pepper commercials.
Oh, yeah.
Can you name the second winner?
Ruben Stoddard.
Stoddard.
Wow.
Can you name the runner-up on the second season?
On the second one, no, who?
Clay Aiken.
Ah, that's right.
So anyway, it was 22 years ago on this date that the first season of American Idol debuted.
Kelly Clarkson really made out well for herself.
Yeah, I mean, she's got her own daytime talk show now. What's not to like? Hey, just a quick reminder for everybody. Father's Day is Sunday. It seems like nobody has a problem remembering Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what that's about, but everybody remembers Mother. A lot of people forget Father's Day. So just
short shrift, I think fathers get.
Fathers get short shrift. I agree. Which would also make a great name for a band, by the way. Feel free to use it.
Fathers get short shrift.
Yeah, father gets short shrift. If you're going to do some shopping for Dad, coming up, I have a list of things that dads would really like to have for Father's Day, and then things that rank lower on the list of what they'd actually like to get.
Hey, I've got an interesting question, and Joanna, maybe you could help answer this as well.
Okay.
If you want to, let's say your father has already passed away, or you don't have a father, do you still celebrate Father's Day?
No.
Really?
Yeah. No, I don't. We don't do anything.
Like, you're not going to call your mom and say, Happy Father's Day?
No. I know. I mean,
his mother.
My mom really misses my dad, and she takes flowers on his birthday. I don't want to name one more thing where she's like, "Oh, maybe I should make the
Father's
70-mile
Day
drive to put flowers on the gravesite."
It's 70 miles.
Father's Day is not a happy day at my house.
when your father, but your father was very well beloved, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for some people, Father's Day may not be a happy occasion for other reasons, but I think you're in the same boat as I am. It's just like, yeah, it's once Dad's gone, Father's Day
can be a sad reminder. Yeah.
Can be a sad reminder. That's right. So don't forget, make your plans for Father's Day, unless he ran off and abandoned you or had a second family or whatever and you're alienated. But it is Father's Day coming up this Sunday.
Father's Day is this Sunday. And once again this year, the catalog covers for Kohl's, JCPenney, and Macy's feature a man in a polo shirt, khaki pants with a brown belt. Year after year, the image of Dad, a pastel polo shirt, khaki pants, and a brown belt. Get them for your dad this Father's Day. Unless your dad is more like the one black guy in the catalog with a square jaw, dress shirt, and slacks. Happy Father's Day from Kohl's, JCPenney, and Macy's. Celebrating another anniversary of the polo shirt, khaki pants, and brown belt collection.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5.
Eligible plan and other restrictions apply. Visit att.com/onenetwork for details.
Find out what's going on. Quirky facts about our region. Urgent things you need to know impacting your drive. And of course, nothing but El Paso's best rock. Oh, with Double G, Monday through Friday, 10 to 3 on 95.5 KLAQ.
An excessive heat watch is issued for the El Paso area. Isn't it just like summer, though? Right?
I guess,
I mean, yeah.
We're in summer now.
Isn't it funny how every year people act like the weather... Listen, I know I'm going to come across maybe like a climate change denialist, which is not what I need to do, but it's like...
Can you believe how hot it is?
Yeah. Why is it so hot? Well, because it's summer and we live in the desert Southwest and it gets hot.
The Chihuahua Desert.
But it's like people in, people who live in Minnesota. Boy, it's going to be a cold winter. Well, no kidding. Of course it is. Let me see what it says about this excessive heat watch. Triple-digit temperatures will persist in El Paso for the foreseeable future.
But 108, I don't remember it being normally 108.
108's getting up there, but we've had 110. We don't get a 120 like they do in Phoenix. I mean, in Phoenix, it's so bad that if you're in a lot of the air, like the downtown area or any kind of shopping area, they've got those misters spraying out cold air everywhere.
Mister what?
Mister, like a mister. They're actually...
Is there a Mrs.?
The most popular brand, though, is called Mr. Mister.
Like sister?
No, like Mr. Mister.
Yeah, I get it.
After a quick dip in temperatures on Monday, it only got up to 96. The remainder of the spring appears to be 100 degrees or above. I don't know, maybe it's a little earlier this year because it's still spring, not quite summer.
I like how you're like, isn't it hot every year? Is climate change really a thing?
It's like, how about these winds? Yeah, well, it's March and it's El Paso.
And you live in Tornado Alley.
We're not in Tornado Alley.
No, I'm just saying. You're just pointing out something that's obvious.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, have you talked to your mom?
I tried to call her last night, no answer. I think my mom's got some kind of social life going on the slide that I don't know about. Because it was not a church night, so I don't know.
You're all, where the hell could she be?
Maybe
How is she out more often than Buzz on a weeknight?
Maybe she has a gentleman suitor for all that. 101 today, 106 on Wednesday, and this looks like the hottest we're going to get this year on Thursday. 108 is the predicted high temperature, so we'll see if that happens on Thursday. Joanna has the Hollywood Cheesemake coming up in just a moment. We're going to get to that. Here's a phone call that came in. Let's listen in. From our neckline. That number is 844-805-NECK, 844-805-6325.
Okay, a stupid stoner dude's got me paranoid about being cremated because of a stupid whatever show. And so I was always going to get cremated and put in a coffee urn because I like coffee, and thrown in my ocean by my house.
Okay.
Is she not around El Paso?
I guess we don't have an ocean.
Yeah, we don't have an ocean.
But that would be just like Donnie from The Big Lebowski in a coffee can off the side of a cliff. It all blows back in their face.
And now I'm scared as hell of getting cremated because stupid stoner dude. But then I'm claustrophobic, so I wonder if I wake up in 6 feet under and I can't get out. So now I'm stuck thinking you stupid stoner dude. Oh, and also I do have a request. Stoner dude and brother. When you get together, I need Bohemian Rhapsody. Smoke a big doob and sing that for me.
Okay.
Live on or neckline or whatever, and that would be hilarious. You guys have a great day.
She sounds fun.
Is that? She sounds like a barrel of monkeys, let me tell you.
Also, right, between cremation and burying, you don't have a lot of options.
Get your head frozen and stored in a facility like
That's not a real option.
No, people do it. It's my plan. When I go in for my will and stuff, I'm going to put in some
You're
wording.
not. Are you? Can you be taxidermied?
Somebody could be. I don't know if it's legal or not.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but yeah, you can be taxidermied. Let's take one more call here, and then we'll get to Joanna's report.
Hey, good morning show. Hey, good morning. Hey, Buzz. You were a while back. You were talking or trying to convince Dr. Ocaranza to give you a Ozempic prescription.
Yeah.
Well, around the same time, I stumbled or came across a prescription of Ozempic for myself too.
Oh wow!
I am not gonna say how I got it, but I got it right. And let me tell you, dude, if you're gonna do Ozempic, you're gonna be dealing with the following things: diarrhea, gas, and one meal a day. Because honestly, you'll be able to eat one meal a day because that's the only thing you'll be hungry for. You're practically gonna have to force yourself to eat the other times.
Really?
I have heard that.
Well,
Yes.
but that's why it's working.
That's what. Yeah, right.
It makes you less hungry.
How about for that one meal a day? Are you at least hungry then, or
probably enough for that? But
Probably enough just to have that one meal.
I have heard a lot about the other gastrointestinal distress,
Yes, I've heard that too.
like burps, really bad burps, or bad smelling burps, bad farts.
Is
So
hold on?
not
Let me,
much has changed in Buzz's.
Buzz, I was going to say, Buzz, you would never know if you were on Ozempic or not.
maybe somebody's slipping it to me without my knowledge.
You know what, Joanna? It was like a couple years ago where I think Buzz claims he had gallbladder surgery.
Oh yeah.
And then he came back and he's only eating once a day.
No, that's not
And he's only eating.
Oh yeah, that's because we all started a rumor that he got like his stomach.
And then
stable.
he's eating like tiny little amounts of food.
Right.
And it's like, did he get his stomach stapled?
Don't
he got his
forget.
stomach stapled.
Yeah.
Don't forget that I also had my jaw wired shut for a few weeks that
This
same
was
summer.
before you got that jaw shut.
It was around the same year.
Yeah, it was around the same year because you were out and we were like, oh, yeah, he's getting his stomach stapled.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that's the rumor I started.
Here's the rest of the guys.
That's the rumor
calling.
I've been telling. I've been telling everybody you got lap bands.
And not even eat a full meal. It's like a small portion. But other than that, it's pretty much working off-label the way that people say it. It's been great. So yeah, if you're trying to get on that Ozempic, man, be sure you get like some gas X or something because you're going to be farting the whole time.
That's how they get you to lose weight.
He called back with another neckline call. I'm not going to play it, but he brings up how bad your stomach acid can get as well. He said, one more thing. It really makes your stomach acid bad. So don't go to Peter Piper.
Oh, no.
Does it sound like it would be worth it? I mean, for somebody who's tried diet, tried all this other stuff.
Look at all these celebrities who look...
Well, you know what that is? That's somebody who weighs 130 pounds who wants to get down to 115 pounds. When you're talking about these
I
celebrities.
want you to look at a side-by-side of Kelly Clarkson.
Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, well, Kelly Clarkson was
amazing.
Kelly Clarkson was definitely carrying
a couple pounds, yeah.
She was carrying a few pounds.
Apparently it also makes, for women, it makes their boobs different.
Better?
I have heard of Ozempic boobs.
Ozempic boobs. And no, not necessarily. Yeah.
Sometimes it makes them better because they say that like everything around them is getting smaller.
Yeah.
But sometimes it makes them worse.
Yeah. There's one more neckline call. Can I play it real quick? Somebody wanted to talk about funeral plans.
Let's save it because we gotta play a sponsorship and then we'll get back.
Later, everyone tell us your funeral plans.
Yeah, we heard from the lady who's going to have her ashes in a coffee can and thrown over in the ocean, but she's afraid.
And that's what the call is them telling us what their plans are.
Yeah, I think that's a good one to open up to. We'll get into that. What are your funeral plans? Are they anything out of the ordinary? Because you really made it binary. It's either cremation or burial. And I'm telling you, around the world, there are so many different cultural practices. Look up sky burial, which is a thing they do in India. You know what a sky burial is?
You're pushed out of a Boeing 747.
No, I'll get into that. I'll describe a sky burial. Nobody has brought up like being put on a Viking longship and then have a flaming arrow shot at it, and it sends the whole thing up into a flaming Viking ship.
Never consider that as an option, but yeah.
Today's show is brought to you by Ozempic. Sorry about your diabetes, but I want to look skinny, damn it. Ozempic.
It's the Hollywood Cheese Man. It's the Hollywood Cheese Man. Joanna, tell us more.
Here's Joanna Barbo with our Hollywood Cheese Man. Good morning, Joanna.
Hi, good morning. The 1998 film Practical Magic is finally getting a sequel. Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman, who both starred in the original, are in talks about appearing in Practical Magic 2.
You know, I'm aware of that, but I never saw it. Are they like witches or something?
Yes, they are.
Really?
The movie is officially said to be in production, and the announcement was made at midnight yesterday on TikTok. The two actresses will produce the film.
So I guess neither one of them were able to cast an anti-aging spell then, huh?
Hey.
It's got a 24% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, what, the
original?
The original, yeah.
Well, it is a big cult film on TikTok.
This is when Nicole Kidman had like flaming red hair.
You mean she had her hair?
So
she hasn't always had red hair.
Her hair has always been red.
Maybe at one point it was like a strawberry blonde.
No, yeah. In this picture, it's blonde right here.
Yeah.
Maybe a strawberry blonde.
I think in Days of Thunder, she had pretty bright red hair in Days of Thunder.
Steve-O will turn 50 this coming Thursday, and he shared his birthday plans with Page Six and said, quote, "I'm getting my first face tattoo. Post Malone is going to tattoo a penis on my forehead."
What a head.
Steve-O explained that he'd already designed the tattoo and plans to get it at the Bonnaroo Music Festival, where Post Malone will headline this coming Friday. Of course, it's Steve-O, so it's always on board that he's trolling everyone and has absolutely no intention of getting a penis permanently plastered onto his forehead.
When was a time when he ever said he was going to do something and didn't do it, though?
I don't
When he wasn't sober?
True that.
Because I was going to say, where would he put it?
On the cheek, maybe.
He said on the forehead.
You said forehead.
Oh, forehead.
Like right in the middle or like off center?
Will it be like, how will it be drawn? Like a side
Right.
view, front view?
Will it be...
How big will
Upright.
it be?
Drawn for girth or for length?
Will it be life size? And for whom?
Hey, you get over here. I need a stencil something.
But I guess if
Are you
any
gonna
two
put a-
people were going to do it, it would totally be Post Malone and Steve-O.
Yeah.
Flava Flav sure is doing his very darndest to save Red Lobster from bankruptcy. He has now twice in the last week purchased the restaurant chain's entire menu and also scheduled a meeting with the company higher-ups to discuss a potential collaboration. And now Red Lobster has unveiled a new commercial for its annual Crab Fest, starting none other than Flava Flav. Writing on X, Flava said, "This is what happens when a brand takes advantage of an opportunity in the right way. Power of community. We are all here to help." Red Lobster isn't Flava Flav's only active partnership. He also recently pledged to support the U.S. women's water polo team for the Summer Olympics in Paris. But it looks like
About
he
time
really,
those gals got the recognition they deserve.
from Flava Flav.
From Flavor Flav especially, yeah.
I'm tired of the men's water polo team hogging the spotlight.
He really doesn't want those Cheddar Bay biscuits to go away. Good for Flava Flav.
I always, I'll be honest with you. Like Red Lobster, I always thought as moderately fancy.
Yeah, for sure. Me
right?
too.
Like if you're going to Red Lobster,
I'm
not saying you put on a coat and tie, but still, it's a nice,
I can't believe they're still going forward with Crab Fest.
Right after
Didn't you have a
Shrimp
debacle?
Fest nearly killed them.
Yeah. Right.
Which, by the way, Buffalo Wild Wings is doing like an all-you-can-eat wings thing.
Oh, my God.
And on X, they were like, please don't bankrupt us like Red Lobster.
They said that?
Yeah, they're like, please
they
don't
totally
bankrupt
will.
Now, that's a challenge.
Yeah.
That right? Anyway, annual Crab Fest is going on at Red Lobster now.
Do you know there's a strip club that's having a Crab Fest as well?
Is it really?
they?
Yes. Yeah. Complimentary.
Butterfly in the Sky tells the story. I know I couldn't keep going on without singing it. It tells the story of the PBS children's series Reading Rainbow. Its iconic host, LeVar Burton, and the challenges that its creators faced in cultivating a love of reading through televisions. Well, 2 seconds into the bubbling synth sounds of its theme song, we'll have a child of the 80s or 90s exclaiming, "Reading Rainbow!" The show that introduced millions of kids to the wonder of books. Not only did the series insist on having kids speak to kids about their favorite stories, Reading Rainbow introduced the world to one of the most adored television hosts of all time, LeVar Burton. And people are
excuse me, I had already
loving
known
it.
him as Kunta Kinte from Roots. So
His name is Toby.
Toby. Kunta Kinte.
Your name is Toby.
Kunta Kinte. Keep it up. I'm going to add some sound effects.
Your name is Toby.
Kunta Kinte.
Oh, no. I did not want to be part of this.
Right?
I did not know what I was going to be a part of.
You guys, I'm talking about Reading Rainbow.
Yes.
Anyway, it's available to stream now on Netflix. I don't know where to go from that anyway.
No.
No,
Stop
stop.
I don't want to be a part of this anymore.
You can stream that on Netflix now.
I guess his three iconic roles were Kunta Kinte in Roots.
Mm-hmm.
Geordie LaForge.
Geordie LaForge. I'm glad you know his last name.
Generation.
Oh, okay.
And he's the Reading Rainbow guy.
And the Reading Rainbow guy, which kind of set a precedent for like other hosts, like Steve from Blue's Clues.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's all I can think of.
And LeVar Burton didn't have to break out into song every time they got a phony letter in the mail.
Why do you have to say phony? They got a letter from their friend.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great song.
We just got a letter We
Here's
just got
the
a
mail,
it never fails, and when
makes me
it comes, I
wanna
wag my tail, and when it comes, I want to wail.
Yeah, see?
But how about the we just got a letter?
We just got a letter.
We
just got a letter. I
We
wonder
just-
who it's from. And it was always from a friend.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. Good stuff. I feel like you're mocking it.
Stop.
We're moving on.
Yeah.
Anyway, final story. It seems that Julia Louis-Dreyfus has a different take on political correctness than her oldest Seinfeld co-star, Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry recently shared that he thinks that you can't make comedies anymore because, quote, people are worrying so much about offending other people. Well, now, Julie, yes?
Wasn't Seinfeld known as like the most inoffensive comic
I don't know.
of
Was
the
he?
80s and 90s? Yeah, I don't think he ever really touched on a lot of hot button. I don't think Jerry Seinfeld ever did.
Have you
any-
seen Jerry's like a whole act?
What's the deal with being woke? I don't know.
Not every joke sounds like that.
That's how I picture it.
Every joke starts with "What's the deal?"
They said that Jerry Seinfeld has never in his stand-up or on TV or anything ever said, "What's the deal?"
Yeah.
And that it all came from a Saturday Night Live skit that he was in, but he didn't say it. It was like Sandler and Rob Schneider were stand-up comics, and it was like a quiz show for stand-up comics. And they were doing, "What's the deal with airline? What's the deal with Captain Crunch?"
That's funny. Oh, well, now Julia's come out on the other side, sharing that she's all for political correctness. In an interview with the New York Times, she said, quote, if you look back on comedy and drama, both, let's say 30 years ago through the lens of today, you might find bits and pieces that didn't age well. She went on to share that as far as she's concerned, quote, people starting to complain about political correctness was a red flag, and sometimes it means something else. She also seemingly is all for being politically correct and said political correctness, insofar as it equates to tolerance, is obviously fantastic.
All right.
And with your entertainment news, I'm Joanna Barba.
I bet you could go back through Veep and find something that, might not have aged so well.
Oh, yeah.
All right. That is our entertainment and Hollywood report. Thank you, Joanna.
This is El Paso's morning show.
Our radio telescopes indicate that mysterious radio
Care to El Pasoist, and it can help save lives. UMC, we care for El Paso.
Oh, we're back. Buzz is back.
Hey, right on, Buzz.
Buzz in the morning show. 95.5 The Q.
All right. I've got the results of a survey where they asked a bunch of American fathers what gifts they would be the most excited to receive for Father's Day.
All righty.
And I got to tell you, a lot on this list is the usual suspect kind of stuff. But they also include like what came in last out of all of the options for what dads would really appreciate for Father's Day. And
cologne.
That part is kind of interesting. Yeah, I can remember getting my dad, like saving my paper route money and buying my dad a bottle of English leather.
And did he like that?
I mean, as far as I know, he did. As far as I know, he liked everything I got him. I remember one year for Father's Day, I had saved, allowance and birthday money or whatever. And I told my dad, and I must have been like 11 or 12, I'll take you to eat at any restaurant you want to go to.
Aw.
In my hometown, there are probably 20 or 30 restaurants to choose from.
Right.
I said, where do you want to go? And he says, McDonald's. Well, I know for a fact my dad was not a fan of McDonald's.
Really?
But you know who were fans of McDonald's?
You and your brother.
Me and my brother. And I said, no, come on. I'll take you. There's a nice restaurant in town called the Glass Garden.
How old were you?
10 or 11, 12.
You were that, you used to be that considerate?
Yeah.
What happened?
Life.
That one chick that broke up with him.
I don't know, but that was like I knew even then it's like, all right, he's doing this for us and also to save me money because we could have gone out and spent upwards of $15.
Imagine your dad is like, all right, kid, take me to Morton Steakhouse.
We just got a Ruth's Chris in Tulsa. But I'll go into that list coming up here in just a few minutes. Have a few calls, including some calls about people's funeral plans or what they plan to do. First, though, this is a call from Midland or Odessa. I bet you this is Padilla.
How's it going, guys? Talking about the temperature. I lived here in Texas all my life, West Texas, and it's definitely getting hotter than when I was younger. When I was young, I remember it being a big thing if they got over 100, you know. And not only is it getting hotter, but it's staying hotter for longer stretches of time. In the past, it would get, you know, above 100 for a day or two, and then it would go back.
Now, this is interesting because Padilla usually calls, and he's pretty far right on most issues. You know, big Trump fan, hates Biden. It sounds like he's making the case that scientists have made for decades about climate change and global warming.
It does sound like that.
I wonder if Padilla realized that when he was making the call.
But what he's saying is something that I really relate to, in that I remember it getting hot when I was younger. I don't remember it staying that hot. It might have gotten to like one.
I know. I told my mom, I don't remember it being this hot when I was little. She's like, it was. You just tolerated the heat better when you were younger.
I think you're onto something. I
don't know,
definitely.
that's probably true.
That too. Yeah.
I definitely think you're onto something there. I mean, when you're a kid, you go out and play, and you never get hot, and you hardly ever get thirsty. If you do, you just drink out of the garden hose.
I don't think I would have gone out and played at 108.
Oh, we would.
Oh, I think I played outside every day, no matter how hot it was.
You're right. I don't think there was a day that we didn't go out
and my mom's
play.
like, no, you just tolerated the heat a lot better.
I
She's
agree.
like, 'cause I was dying.
Padilla's got a little more here, but I tend to agree with you. I think kids are just more tolerant to a lot of things, and then when you get older and put on a few extra layers of insulation, that's when it really right. That's when it really starts to get hot.
Down. Now we're seeing times where it goes 2 weeks straight being over 100, up to the 110s and stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely getting hotter. I don't know if that's normal or not, but yeah. Thanks.
Well, that is a very eloquent description of weather trends and climate change. I had no idea Padilla was such an environmentalist. But I do think there's something to be said. You remember it being hot. Wait, he's saying it is hotter. Right, you remember it not being as hot because you're a little kid.
Yeah.
But could you also say that it is getting hotter and that climate change might be a part of that?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
oh, definitely.
That's what everybody is saying.
But
though,
I think when they're talking about climate change, they're talking about incremental. So going up like over the past 30 years, we're not talking about 30 degrees difference. We're talking a degree,
but
maybe.
When they say that the ocean can only withstand 1 degree of warming, it will create weather patterns like the amount of tornadoes that we've been seeing, like severe weather temperatures either up or down.
So many more shark attacks.
So many more shark attacks.
Dogs and cats living together. I appreciate the call.
It's hot.
Let me see what else has recently come in. We'll probably... Oh, Nico, you really set off a firestorm when you said there are basically two options for when you die. You either get buried or cremated.
Right.
We've got people calling in. I want to remind you of mummification, which is the Egyptians did mummification.
Is that not just buried?
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
They're put into a coffin.
Yeah, but
it sounds like burying.
They
with
wrap
extra steps.
you up and pull your nose out, your brain out through your nose.
That is true.
Oh my God.
The hot poker.
Remove all the organs and stuff.
I saw The Mummy.
Yeah, you know how it works.
Yeah, I saw one.
Morning, guys. Talking about the temperature.
Oh, it's Padilla again. Wait a minute.
I think you're playing the same
You
one.
just play the same one.
I think you're right.
I have that audio if you want me to.
Yeah. Let me do the funeral one. I mislabeled it.
Good morning, everybody that I talked to when I talked about my funeral plans. I tell them that I want to be burnt on a pyre, and they think I'm just weird. I think it'd be kind of cool to go out like a Jedi.
I want to be burnt on a funeral pyre so I can go out like a Jedi. Yeah, you know.
Nice to have a dream, yeah.
What do you mean like a Jedi? Yeah, like Yoda at the end of...
No, it would be really cool.
Or Qui-Gon Jinn at the end of Phantom Menace.
It would be really cool if you're burning on a pyre and your grieving family is there, and then your
Force ghost
shows up to comfort them. I think that would be really interesting.
Joanna,
What?
when I was over at Buzz's and his daughter was hanging out with us, he goes, "Hey, let's watch the Acolyte, the new thing." And
I was describing it's got really good kung fu and it's a real great martial arts movie and it's super.
And she
super
sounded
cool.
kind of into it before she learned. Is that a Star Wars thing?
And I said yes, and she's like, never.
So apparently, she is actively telling Buzz that she will never watch a Star Wars movie or be a fan of it.
She's also
never seen a Star Wars movie at all.
one.
And she's proud of it, like super proud of it.
Oh, look at that.
She
That's
might
hilarious.
be more proud of that than anything else in her young life.
Like she trolls him, like she knows how
You
much.
know how you were like starting to bond really well with your daughter? There's that one act of rebellion.
That one wrinkle.
It happens.
And she knows Buzz loves Star Wars.
That's why she does it.
You know, I think it's a thing. Like if your parents love it, it's like. If it's old, it's not cool. But if it's old and your parents really like it, it's super not cool. Because she also said she would never be a fan of the Beatles. And the other day, I heard her playing Blackbird on the acoustic guitar.
Nice.
So she at least had to listen enough to learn Blackbird. Let me see. This is a call. Let me see if this is about funeral plans.
Hey, speaking of funerals, I'm gonna have a guest list at mine. When I go, I'm gonna have someone enforce this guest list. So when people
guest
show up
list.
that I didn't like, they're gonna know I didn't like them.
All right, he's definitely gonna have somebody checking names, and he's gonna give them a list of names. If this person shows up,
what are you?
They're not allowed in.
You're gonna have a bouncer at your funeral.
I told Lisa that is her job at my funeral.
To be your bouncer.
Yep.
No, sorry,
She
closed
didn't
party.
even like you.
So I want to describe to you the sky burial, since I brought that up earlier, because if you go around the world, there are so many different options than buried in the ground or cremated.
Oh.
A Tibetan sky burial. I'm going to describe it to you. It's a funeral practice. The corpse is placed on a mountaintop, left to decompose, completely exposed to the elements, and part of it is also that they will be eaten by scavenging birds. So you'll be eaten by falcons, eagles.
I'm upcycling, bitch.
Buzzard, vultures, all of that stuff. They have something similar in Zoroastrianism.
Really?
Burial rites, yeah. Let's see.
You know, apparently in Mount Everest, which is part of the Tibetan mountain ranges, that the bodies don't decompose because it's so high and so cold.
And so cold, right? They're just basically in deep
freeze like some
storage,
popsicles that are up there.
which takes me back to my plan.
Cryogenic freezing.
Cryogenic freezing. I can't afford the whole body. I wish I'd been a bigger success, but I can't afford to have my. Hold on, listen, hear me out. To have my head frozen.
You're the least important part of you.
No, it's the most important because it's got your brain in it, and I know that there's nothing you could do about it now.
Just
but
head,
maybe in 1,000 years,
or about head and neck, because you're going to want your voice.
You probably want your spinal cord.
You're going to want your voice still,
right?
What if you didn't sound like this?
It wouldn't be worth living.
It wouldn't be worth living to come back.
One of the most famous people to actually have this done is baseball legend Ted Williams, who apparently that was his plan, and his head is in a cryogenic freezing facility in Phoenix. Now that's the part that blew my mind. Like the thing is
cryogenic?
this thing cannot unfreeze. It's frozen at such a cold level that if it unfreezes, you
lose the sample.
You lose.
It's
the
like
sample.
a good steak. You don't want to freeze those things.
Why would you put it in Phoenix? I mean, I'm sure they have a backup generator, but what if that goes down? Put it in night country. Put it in Alaska. Put it someplace where there's at least a chance that at some part of the year it's going to be cold.
Joanna, did you hear Buzz describing sky burial?
No, I was on the phone.
So they just leave your body on a mountain so that like animals can eat it and it goes away.
Maybe that's how they did it in the olden days.
No, still today.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you want? Do you want us to leave you on a mountain?
No. freeze my head, make sure I can be
You want us to
revived in the
freeze
future, so that I can
Golden
go on
Girl
living.
style.
What does that mean?
It's one of the episodes they'd get their heads cryogenically frozen.
What?
And only Sophia is the one that was like completely unfrozen.
Because she tipped the guy.
Yeah, and
was this a dream sequence?
Yeah.
And they put her
No,
old.
Buzz, it was real. Betty White's head is somewhere out there.
No.
frozen.
But I mean, it wasn't real in the show universe either. It was like, oh, they woke up and
They woke up.
The new trend is old heads on young,
young
bodies.
How did you get your body so fast? You didn't tip the guy?
Sometimes people die. When they do, they call us. We're the Eternal Shade Cemetery. At Eternal Shade, death is nothing to fear. If you're afraid of someday becoming a zombie, we'll cut off your head. If you're afraid you might wake up, we'll bury you with an air horn. If you're afraid of worms, we'll bury you in a baggie. Like a big dead sandwich. Eternal Shade Cemetery. We'll take the bother out of burying your father. Call us if you're planning on dying or planning anyone else's death.
Hey, it's Daniel Paulus. I'll be along starting at 3 with everything from AC/DC to Alice in Chains to
F65 for an line at PrimeIVHydration.com. Book now and get 50% off your first service in June.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Inderman Personal Injury Lawyers. At GVILaw.com.
All right, Nico's going to have our news headlines coming up in just a few minutes. Did you read that story that I sent you?
Yeah.
I'm going to bring it up later.
Okay. You want me to bring it up in news?
Just read the headline.
You want me to read it out?
Just read the headline.
I am. Out loud? Yeah, the headline.
Yeah.
Documents unveil reasons behind closure of massage parlor.
Interesting.
Some people noticed
My
that
worst fear.
apparently, okay, so this was the one, I've told the story before that a friend of ours decided to take the whole morning show for a surprise. We thought he was taking us to lunch, and we ended up at this massage parlor. It was that one. It was that one. And this was like 15 years ago, though. And
You were so uncomfortable.
I was uncomfortable, but there was nothing sexy about it. It had like a suspended ceiling like this and fluorescent lights like this, and all of the massage. It was like a foot massage. I was uncomfortable having someone touch my feet in such an unfamiliar person touching me in such a familiar way. But these are like 60-year-old women. There was nothing to indicate that this place was supposed to be sexy.
Oh, yeah.
They must have like a basement or something or a back room. Yeah, they've got to. But some of the details in it are pretty interesting.
That's funny.
We're going to take some call. Well, we're going to talk about what Dad wants. They asked a bunch of fathers in a survey to rank, and then they gave them options of things they would want, like cologne or a tie or whatever. So we'll find out what Dad said from this list of choices they were given, what they would like for Father's Day. But we have a couple of calls. We have another call about what their funeral plans are. This all started when we got a call from somebody who's freaked out over Stoner Guy's either movie he saw or TV show or a dream he had where if you're cremated, you can still feel it. We've never figured out what it was. It could have just been. Good morning, Stoner Guy, by the way, if you're listening. Could have been just his imagination.
So I've always told my family, ever since I was a kid to my wife now, that I've always wanted to be buried naked in a refrigerator box.
Huh.
Why spend all the money? It just doesn't make any sense to me, And no one has thought it was legit, even though it's what I want. I'm probably just going to wind up getting buried regular.
I guess I'd want to know the why behind that desire. Like, why do you want to be buried naked in a refrigerator box? Have you ever heard of people being buried sitting in their beloved favorite vehicle? There have been a few cases of that.
What?
Because they love the car, whatever it is, so much.
They want to be buried behind the behind the steering wheel of their favorite car.
I think clothes is a good idea still. You don't have to go naked.
But why
I think he meant to say that, like, once I'm dead, I'm dead. It doesn't matter.
Maybe.
Why would you pay? Which I kind of agree with. Why would you pay for the most expensive?
Did he say in a refrigerator box or a refrigerator?
Box. I thought he said box.
Let me check it again.
My wife now that I've always wanted to be buried naked in a refrigerator box.
Oh, so the box the refrigerator comes in.
Yeah, he's saying, yeah.
I mean, really?
Oh, I see. Okay.
He's saying, like, it's not worth it. I'm already dead.
Somebody did say that in the after. They were like, I wonder how funerals will change with the prices of them just being skyrocketed.
It's always seems silly to me that you would have to spend $8,000 on a casket, any casket, you know?
A box that's going to go underground?
Yeah.
And once again, we go back to a Golden Girls episode.
What was that one?
They have to buy a casket for someone that Rose killed.
Wait, was this another dream sequence?
No, she told the girl, drop dead.
I hope you drop Mrs.
Mrs. Claxton?
Claxton. Oh, my God, Joanna. Too much.
I know.
You guys should do a Golden Girls podcast.
We
There's
should.
probably an audience there and you could have like all the surviving members of, bad.
Nice.
I was going to say all the surviving cast members.
I don't like that tree, and I don't like you.
Well, you can just drop dead. And then she does.
So they had to pay to bury her?
Yeah,
because she had no friends.
She had no friends, no family.
Mm-hmm.
Morning, Mo Show. Hey, listen, the reason the scientists are so confident about our climate changing and global warming and all that stuff is because our planet runs on a cycle that includes, getting warmer. And we're due for it. Anybody there know when's the last time we had a major heat wave in the entire, globe? I'm just wondering.
He's like, no, seriously, guys, I'm asking a question. Could you?
I mean,
right? He's like, no. Do you really know?
Could you look that
Could
up?
someone
yeah,
help me?
the Earth goes through cycles, but these are over thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of years. But I thought when I was a kid, they always told us we were due for another ice age. Like when I was in school, they said, they believe the ice age should have, we're already late for an ice age.
And then that one movie, The Day After Tomorrow, came out.
And it's like, I didn't know we could have an ice age in like 1 minute. Remember how everything, it's just like boom, and everything just froze in 1 minute. It had crossed my mind. I mean, I dismissed it. I've never spoken it out loud, but at one point I was like, what if all the scientists know that an ice age is coming and they decided to put stuff in, all of our fossil fuels that forms a layer to like stave off the ice age? I realized how ridiculous that sounds.
So weirdly enough, there are a lot of scientific articles that are saying that the Earth right now is the hottest it's been in 125,000 years. They know through core samples that
what made it so hot back then, because we were just basically monkey people back then, right?
It's still hot. I mean, it's hotter now than it was 100,000 years ago.
Well, it's hotter now than it was?
Yeah.
I thought
Earth has not been this hot in 125,000 years.
I wonder what caused it, though. Like, yes, the cycle. I mean, the guy's not wrong about the cycle. I feel like that's right. Do you want to hear a few more calls about people's funerary plans?
I do. I'm curious about this. Can I tell you what my dad has always told me and my brother, and my mom has laughed it off like, we're not doing this.
What does he want?
He wants to be cremated and put into golf balls and hit off a ship or something, or like into the ocean.
Oh my God, you have to do that. That sounds great.
I bet they can do that.
I think they can. What if I got one of those golf balls like mixed up and like I started playing actual golf? It's like, hey, anybody see my dad? Yeah, he hit a bunker.
I wonder as soon as you hit it if it would blow up like a gender reveal.
Oh, there's Nico's dad.
But
Buzz, good morning, you guys.
personally for me, I don't really care how I'm buried. I don't have kids. Usually the kids are the ones who decide that for their parents or to fulfill the parents' wishes.
I guess so.
I'm already 33, dude. I ain't got no kids. I think it was going to happen now between me and my wife. It would have happened. But for the most part, I've seen this a lot on TikTok where people get buried in their car. Like either their first car, whether it's like a 67 Mustang or a Chevelle. Usually it's classic cars, I've noticed. But I see that's a pretty big trend where people get buried in their car. Anyways, guys, have a good one.
What's so funny is that call came in before I said that on the air, but I did not know that he was going to say that in the call.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't listen to him all the way through.
Yeah, you don't. That's true.
That's why sometimes like an F-bomb sneaks by or whatever. That is so weird.
Don't you screen these things? Don't you screen these things?
Yeah, but I can't.
Don't you look at them before you put them on?
Yes, but
I'm just telling him what he tells me all the time.
Oh, yeah. Pre-planning is very important.
Pre-planning.
Very important.
All right. We probably have to push our Father's Day survey and the thing that dads say they want least back a little bit because I think we're running a little late on the brakes here.
We got one more call about the
funeral practices.
Funeral practices.
Okay.
Good morning show. Talking about being buried and stuff. I have a friend that says that when he dies, he wants nobody to claim his body. So if the city just basically, after nobody claims him, they just cremate him, put him in a box, and just put him with a bunch of other people. So nobody has to pay anything. Coffins or anything. Putting it out there, I guess it's something you can do.
Hey, you want to hear a funeral hack?
I think the refrigerator box guy called back.
That's hilarious though. So nobody has to. Well,
nobody has to pay anything.
People are paying for it. Yeah,
somebody's going to pay for it.
So I called in just a little while ago about the refrigerator box. Totally legit, by the way. I tried bargaining with my wife and saying instead of being naked, I could have clothes on. It didn't go. But anyways, what I was going to say is my sister passed away within this past year.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And she was going to have it to where some of her ashes were going to be made into like a stone to be put onto a bracelet for me and my two other siblings. Didn't wind up doing that, but that was something that, she had wanted and was planning on.
What was that?
Okay, so
there's like companies that will take your loved one's ashes and will turn it into like a stone.
They will compress the carbon.
Like a diamond?
Yes. They will compress the carbon left over from your ashes into a gem.
And your wife is going to wear you on her finger?
You can put it on a finger or you can put it in a necklace.
I guess you can put it in any kind of jewelry.
Yeah.
Belly button ring, whatever you want.
Super expensive because my mom wanted us to do that with my dad's ashes. And my sister and I were looking it up and we're like, this thing is $2,000, Mom. We're not doing that.
I think a cremation might. I mean,
also, you're holding like
a cremation. Also, was it a little creepy that you would be walking around with?
No.
No, I have a necklace that has my dad's ashes.
Oh, that's nice. But did you pay $2,000?
No, I got the
like
necklace
a little
on
vial.
Amazon.
Yeah.
It is like you're carrying around somebody's Horcrux, though.
Unfortunately, it just didn't work out. But I think that's kind of a cool thing because you can kind of hold on to, a piece of your family. They do like necklaces and bracelets and things like that. It's a weird side note. My mom actually did that with our dog growing up. But anyways, just throwing that out there as well.
What?
Also, I've heard somebody just called in about the diamond thing. It's like everybody's on the same page kind of on this stuff.
Yeah. That's that one I've seen. There's also this other one called like eco burial, like where you're put into this thing that kind of like dissolves your body and
And do you become one with the earth?
No, it just kind of like makes you less messy. I don't know.
Biodegradable.
It's like I think we're all biodegradable.
I think we are biodegradable. If they didn't pump you full of formaldehyde before you were buried.
That's a good point.
Here's an interesting. Somebody just called in with a really interesting.
You want to play that?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, what's up, Mo Show? Hope you guys are doing good.
We are.
You guys are talking about this the funeral things, and I read somewhere that what you can do is you can get cremated, and they put you in like this biodegradable urn, and you bury the urn into the ground, and within years or so, it turns into a tree.
Oh.
Like, you pretty much become a tree. I don't know, I think that's something cool. That's actually something that I was kind of, thinking about doing.
Looking
but
into.
Who knows, I might just do a Viking funeral, or just have my family take my ashes to Mount Fuji in Japan and just release them up there. Either way, I'm not too sure yet. Anyway, you guys have yourself a good morning.
I'm either going to become a tree or I'm going to be off the
This is crazy because a lot of people in the app chat were like, I want to become one with the earth and I want my ashes to be spread and planted with a tree.
Hey, you see that tree? That's my cousin.
My grandma?
Yeah, that's my grandma.
That's a process called Grootification. I am Groot. If only the tree could speak in your voice.
That's right.
I'm glad that everybody's into this because
it's a morbid topic.
It's a morbid topic, but it's something we all think about, right?
Yeah.
How about this one? I want to be buried in a way that if my remains are ever dug up by archaeologists in 10,000 years, that it's just going to completely mystify them. Like something, you ever hear they dig up some kind of thing? It's like, well, this is weird. I want to do it like have like a horse's skull on my body. And it's like, we've discovered a race of horsemen that used to live on Earth 10,000 years ago.
You want to jackalope the people of the future?
I want to troll future archaeologists. Maybe they're not even from our planet.
They're like, what the hell is this?
This guy's got antlers.
Yeah, something like that.
Nah, just a real good taxidermist.
Good morning, guys. This is born-again Christian guy.
Oh.
It's all right to die. If you're in Jesus Christ, you'll never die. Your spirit will live forever. Forgive me for getting emotional.
No, I get it. But I'm just saying as a backup plan.
Yeah.
You can still do whatever your religion is. Whatever your religion is, you can still believe all that. But just as a backup, I'm getting my head frozen.
That's your backup plan.
Yeah. I mean, what if you find out? I guess if there's not a heaven, you're never going to find out there's not a heaven, right? If there's no afterlife, you're not going to find out about it.
Yeah, but if there's a hell, you're going to find out.
But I am a born-again Christian. And if you're in Jesus Christ, you will never die spiritually. This body, this...
Yeah. Spiritually, I'm talking about like my head with my brain in it and stuff, though.
Sinful, condemned house that we live in will die and the worms will get to us. But if you're in Jesus Christ spiritually, in all facets of Jesus Christ, you will never die. You will live forever in spirit. I'm Dylan Perez. Have a good day. Bye-bye. God bless you.
You know what another definition of living forever in spirit is? Dead.
Yeah, any form of death.
He's legit. I guess born-again Christian guy. I thought he was kind of doing a character like.
No,
but
he
I
would
think
call
he's
me
legit.
every day, and he'd be like, "I
You know
feel
what?
so bad for listening."
Is it just me, or does he sound like Mondo doing an impression of Chewie?
Kind of, yeah.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. Nico has news headlines on the way right after this.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5
kinds of minor Upper Valley Urgent Care, 121 East Red Road, serving El Paso for over 15 years.
Hey, it's Double G. Coming up after the Buzz Adams Morning Show, all the best new rock, all the best classic rock, everything that is El Paso's best rock. Everything you need to help you through your workday.
Okay, let's hit it.
All right, we're going to get to news headlines. So I am aware that we're running slightly behind schedule, so that means we should probably break the news up into halves.
Ooh, and I just remembered how I want to go.
You just remembered how you want to be buried?
Buried, sorry. Well, and it's not buried. Well, see, that's the thing. How do you say it?
Oh, because it's not buried.
It's not buried. It's actually based off of a Star Trek custom.
Oh boy.
The species called the Ferengi.
The Ferengi.
Yes.
Yes.
They do. They're all based on capitalism
and greed.
And greed. So what they do when one of them dies is they take their body and slice it up and put it into like in like a slide or something, and then you can sell parts of yourself to, whoever.
Who would buy it?
Yeah. Who's the customer base for that?
People who want a memento of you.
Oh, but they have to pay for it.
But they have to pay for it.
Oh, like your poor mom would have to pay for that?
Well, they're Ferengis, so they expect it.
They expect it.
All right.
I kind of want that.
You ready?
Okay. I will write that down.
Please.
Okay, so you got two customers, your mom and your dad, if you go before they do, and then I think that is pretty much the entire marketing plan there.
I'll buy a slice of you, Nico.
Right.
How much you going to charge?
That's a good question. Depends on how many slices you can get out of me.
I'm gonna clone my own Nico and train him from birth to be on time for stuff.
The weather's good. Spanning the globe in search of news.
And here is Nico Jimian with part one of today's news headlines. Good morning, Nico.
Good morning, Buzz. And just to spite you, my clone would be late as well.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
I'd find out, nature versus nurture.
Yep, that's
nature
exactly it. Good morning, Buzz. Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning.
Well, they're not talking about it publicly, but some officials are saying the Biden administration is talking about possibly negotiating directly with Hamas to secure the release of 5 Americans being held hostage in Gaza. The potential negotiations wouldn't include Israel, and the White House has so far declined to comment on the possibility. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, who was in Israel yesterday to discuss the ceasefire deal currently on the table, refused to comment on any potential direct negotiations. Blinken said the best way to get the hostages home is the deal that's been offered already. That deal, negotiated with the U.S.'s help, has already been agreed to by Israel. It only lacks agreement by Hamas.
So Hamas has said, we would agree to this if we were guaranteed that Israel would pull all of its forces out of Gaza and promise to stay out forever. And the Israelis
are like,
saying,
no, we're not going to do that.
You came over and kidnapped and killed a bunch of our people. We're just not going to do that.
I completely see from the point of view what people are saying, like, oh, it's a humanitarian crisis over there. I mean, the collateral damage on civilians is terrible.
I don't think you can deny it. Hamas should definitely sign this ceasefire so that stops.
But I will say that if you've looked at any of the photos of all the 4 hostages that were rescued in the past week by Israel and them hugging their loved ones, you can only imagine that those loved ones would have done anything to get those family members back. And I think we have to,
these are complicated issues. I mean, I know everybody wants to see things in black and white, but there's a lot of gray areas. It is very complicated, but it is a humanitarian crisis. There are a lot of... Dude, your shirt is on inside out. Honestly, you had to have buttoned that. No, you know what you did? You took it off last night and never unbuttoned it. You just took it off, and then this morning, since you were running so late...
interrupting news because Nico's shirt is inside out?
What?
Yeah, of course I am. He's always saying that I've got dementia or that I've got early onset Alzheimer's or whatever. You put your shirt on inside out. So what that means is he went out last night in that shirt. Then he got home and he just took it off.
The shirt you were at karaoke with?
I was.
You were out karaoke until 3 a.m. is what I heard.
I was. I can't. There's no defense for this.
All right. Your punishment is you have to stand up right now, interrupt the news, take your shirt off, turn it right side out, and Joanna makes fun of you the entire time while you're doing it.
I'm not going to disrobe in front of Joanna.
Hey, Cappy, come here. Come here for a second. Look what this fool did. Hey, what's up, Joel? How you doing, buddy?
Okay, now a child is going to make fun of me too. What?
See if you notice anything unusual about Nico's wardrobe today. Do you notice anything strange or unusual? Make sure that microphone's on.
Yeah, your shirt's inside out.
And it only took Buzz.
But it's a button-up. It's a button-up.
Yeah, that's weird, man. That's a look. The buttons are usually supposed to be on the
outside. I went out last night
like this.
And yes, and I
but with it presumably it wasn't
right
inside
side. Yeah.
Oh my God.
God,
Hey, let me tell you something. I like the idea. You go out wearing a shirt one way, and then the next day you still want to wear it, but you decide to go inside out and wear it the other way. That's actually pretty. That's an interesting way to do it. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm looking. I see the seams. I see everything that you would see if you saw the shirt inside out.
Thank you, Steve, for putting a positive spin on this.
It's a statement, man.
Yeah.
Buzz, I'm in the middle of news right now. Buzz just
right
interrupted
in the middle of news.
What are you and Joel up to? I mean, your son. Sorry.
What do we? Well, first off, he's off from school.
Summer.
He's off from school. And he's also has about a dozen magic tricks.
I've been watching. Let me tell you, I've been watching young Joel Kaplowitz's magic tricks. Your dad's been showing me, and I am really impressed. Not only with the tricks, but just like your performance and your patter and everything else.
Your patter. Have you learned about patter?
Yep.
Yeah, it's all about misdirection, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And if people are listening, anyway, it goes into all this magic
Joel,
stuff, but he's going to be great.
How would you like to learn how to make a crushed beer can refill with beer?
Good trick for an eighth grader.
It's like this, and then
it's like a crushed can, and then you hold it, and then it just refills with beer, and it uncrushes itself.
I saw a guy do this in my backyard one time. It was amazing.
Do you know if it was a prop or if it was an actual beer bottle?
It's an actual beer can.
I was led to believe it was an actual beer can. They swapped it out.
Might have done a switch.
But it would have to have been the same. Same brand.
No switch, because I help him. I help him. My best friend is a magician. He's a professional magician. So
okay.
I have to help him set those up.
I'm not a magician.
You're my second best friend.
Second in the totem pole. What? On the totem pole.
How dare you? Anyway, this kid has got a bright future.
Yeah, that's really cool, man.
Thank you.
You don't do any that would translate well on the radio, do you? There's no such thing as radio magic.
You'd have to describe it really well.
Yeah, you'd have to be very descriptive.
Don't they talk about the magic of radio?
Yeah, sure they do. All right. Anyway, Inside Out. But what's even funnier is like at 6:15 this morning, I call Nico. Like, where are you, dude? Show starts at 6. It's like a ritual. And he answers the phone, hello. And I'm like, hey, man. And he's like, I'm almost here. Like, just like, I'm almost there. I'm like, did I just wake you up? No, I'm almost there. And now you show up with your shirt inside out.
I was rushing and it was dark. I got dressed in the dark. I did.
It's a nice shirt, though. He's wearing the Cremieux Classics. That's a nice shirt. He dresses well.
Thank you. Probably.
I'll tell my mom
or Steinmart
that you appreciate her sense of style.
I do.
Can you guys come back in about 30 minents? We'll talk a little sports. So both of the series in hockey and basketball are 2-0.
They are. They are.
Is basketball back tonight, or when's the next game?
Let's talk about it when we get sports in 30 minutes.
We'll
That's
do that.
perfect.
All right,
we'll do
good.
that.
And off the air, I want to see some of these.
Oh, he's ready.
Super cool magic tricks.
Nice.
He's ready. In fact, he's been practicing.
I was going to ask, do you practice?
Why don't you have him show us?
I practice in front of an audience.
You practice
better, because it was Dad and my mom, and then 2 of their friends, and then my grandma.
Yeah.
And I did magic tricks.
Just blew their socks off?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, mine too, and I just saw the video of it. Let's take a break. We'll come back. Nico will do a magic trick where he magically makes his shirt turn right side out. And we'll be back with more news and then sports in about 30 minutes with the Kaplowy. That's multiple Kaplowitz. All right, let's take a break. More coming up right after this.
The Up Crowd Adult Video Warehouse today. 8760 Gateway East between Lee Trevino and Zaragoza.
Broadcasting from El Paso for El Paso. The Buzz Adams Morning Show on 95.5 KLAQ.
All right, let's get back to our news headlines. Nico has his shirt on the right side.
So embarrassing. It was a late night.
I was looking over there and I noticed your buttons were on the inside of your shirt. And I'm like, now how did he go all the way through buttoning his shirt without noticing that it was inside. And then it dawned on me, oh, he just flipped it off last night and then put the same shirt back on this morning, only inside out.
It was Jenny's last night. She wanted to go out with a bunch of friends.
And that's how your shirt ended up getting turned inside out, huh?
People in the app are like, Nico is promoting Disney's Inside Out too.
All right, that is pretty great.
All right, let's get back to. I don't know if we got through that one story about.
We got through
Israel.
one story about Israel. Yeah. Apple revealed a push into artificial intelligence features for several of its products yesterday. The next version of the company's operating system for iPhones, Macs, and iPads will include generative AI, able to improve or summarize text and supplement photos with image generation. The new tech, named Apple Intelligence, AI by Apple, will also be integrated into Siri, allowing the assistant to retain context from previous requests and improve its language comprehension. During yesterday's Apple WWDC, I think that's the Worldwide Developers Conference, here's Tim Cook announcing the integration of artificial intelligence.
Introducing Apple Intelligence, the new personal intelligence system that makes your most personal products even more useful and delightful.
The move is being called the most important decision. He didn't sound too delighted. Was that what you're
It's delightful.
It's delightful.
It's been called
it's like the AI is holding a gun to get out there and tell these people we're not going to kill everybody.
They're saying it's the most important decision made by Apple in the last 10 years. The company has spent recent years issuing new models of its signature items, and in latest earning reports, smartphone sales, they dropped 10%, and iPad sales dropped 17%. Well, here is the Apple team talking about how new intelligent AI will use your data.
It draws on your personal context to give you intelligence that's most helpful and relevant for you. It protects your privacy at every step, and it is deeply integrated into our platforms and throughout the apps you rely on to communicate, work, and express yourself.
Well, Siri learning how to pronounce and recognize Spanish surnames would be a start.
What are the ones it has the hardest time with? Aguilar, yeah. My good friends, the Aguilers.
The Aguilers.
Yeah.
Nico. I have to call you Nico or Siri doesn't get it.
You're not the only one.
Kalopowitz.
Calling Steve Kalopowitz.
Yeah.
Here's the team talking a little bit more.
Even if you don't know exactly what a feature is called, you can just describe it, and Siri will find the info you're looking for.
Oh, that's kind of interesting. Like, Siri, can you...
Oh, we were doing this earlier. We were playing the Siri AI game, so I'm going to be the user, and Joanna's going to play the part of Siri.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's see how this might potentially work. Hey, Siri, open the app where you listen to a song on the radio, and it tells you the name of the song and the artist.
Do you mean Shazam?
Yes, thank you, Siri.
Okay.
Siri, open the thing on my phone where you put in numbers and it'll add it up, or you can multiply or divide.
Do you mean the calculator?
You got it again, Siri. Good job.
We're on a roll.
All right, moving on. Hunter Biden's federal gun case was handed to the jury yesterday without his testimony. Jurors deliberated for about an hour before being released for the day and will resume deliberations today. Two of the three charges Hunter faces are tied to accusations that he lied on a federal gun form about his drug use. He has pled not guilty to all charges. Staying in politics, the pre-sentencing probation hearing for former President Donald Trump was described as routine, with the entire process taking less than 30 minutes yesterday. Let's remind ourselves, though, this is a former president of the United States.
I think we're all aware of Mr. Trump's status.
The report produced...
Some of us have accepted that he's the former president. Some haven't.
The report produced from yesterday's interview can be used by Judge Juan Merchan to help figure out Trump's sentence on July 11th. The interview was conducted privately by video conference, and it will remain confidential by state law. And remember that United Auto Workers president, Shawn Fain? Well, he's scored several victories this year for striking workers, but now he'll have to try to score one for himself. Shawn Fain is under investigation by a federal court-appointed watchdog over possible corruption.
Huh.
The Monitor
from somebody in the union. You say
somebody that's a Teamster? Oh, it's not the,
really? It's not the team. No, I don't think it's the Teamsters, but just
Yeah, they're adjacent. Well, he is under the Monitor, Neil Borofsky, is also accusing union leaders of obstructing the investigation, which could potentially violate a 2020 consent decree. The main investigation involves accusations that Fain abused his power as the union president. The only public comment from Fain so far came in his statement last night, saying in part, taking our union in a new direction means sometimes you have to rock the boat. Speaking...
That's what it's called, rocking the boat.
And taking some money on the side.
Right.
Speaking of cars and auto workers, Chrysler has announced that it's recalling over 200,000 Durangos, Ram 2500s, and Ram 3500 vehicles. The 2022 year models of those vehicles may experience a malfunction in their control module that controls the anti-lock brakes, possibly increasing the risk of a crash. Dealers will update the anti-lock braking control module software for free, and letters will be sent out to affected owners in July. I don't know why they're going to wait till July to send those out. The majority of the recalled vehicles, about 150,000 of them, are Ram 2500 pickups. Isn't that what you have?
I don't think it's 2,500, but yeah, I have a Ram truck.
I want to get that checked out.
Yeah. I usually don't pay attention to those sort of things. Every time I get something from like the place I bought my car saying
recall,
not a recall, but everything seems like they just want to get me on the lot to try and sell me a new car. I'm on to them. They know what a sucker I was the last time around. All they want me to do is come in. So hey, you need to come in and have this minor thing changed on your car. No. They just want to get me on the lot, and they want to send one of their sales team out because they know I'm a sucker.
Well, researchers announced yesterday that patches of water frost equal to 60 Olympic-sized swimming pools have been seen on Mars. The frost was found on top of 3 of the Tharsis volcanoes on Mars near the planet's equator.
Do we know if they're made of water or some other liquid?
Frost.
But does that...
It's enough frost to equal 60 Olympic-sized
No, but I'm
pools.
saying, are they sure it's H2O or is it possibly some other liquid?
No, it's
liquid
water.
Mercury.
No, there's no frosted mercury.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't ordered a frosted mercury recently.
Scientists say the frost forms during sunrise during the cold seasons and then evaporates during the day. The pictures of the frost have been studied intensely by researchers since 2018, but they're finally ready to say, no, it's actually water frost.
Oh, okay. That's what I was asking.
The news was announced in a press release by Brown University yesterday, and the study was published in the journal Nature Geoscience. This is going to be a sad story for anybody that's a fan of comic books. YouTuber Comic Storian, who created audio dramas of comic books and talked about the DC and Marvel universes, has passed away.
Oh.
Have we watched any Comic Storian? I think we have.
I have not.
This is the YouTube guy where he takes individual panels and then narrates them as the panel of the comic book is going. So it's like
he just does it all himself?
Yeah.
It'd be cool if you actually cast like the parts and had different actors playing.
He's a good audio act because he does different voices for everybody.
No, I'm not. I'm not familiar.
His wife, Natalie.
How old was he?
He was 40 years old.
Oh,
his real name
God.
was Ben Potter, and details of his accident were not shared.
Oh, it was an accident.
It was an accident. Comic Storian had over 3 million followers on YouTube, and because of that, the family and his team will keep the channel going.
All right.
How about some El Paso news?
Yeah. Let me hear about it.
Well, in El Paso news, some El Paso teachers unions, the El Paso Teachers Union is going to demand stipends after EPISD has cut annual raises. The president of the El Paso Teachers Union called for more money for El Paso Independent School District teachers. All the paywalls on some of these things.
Mm-hmm.
El Paso Federation of Teachers, or EPAFT, President Ross Moore sent an email to EPISD board members and Superintendent Diana Saavedra asking for 2 $2,000 stipends, one for the winter and one for the end of the year, for every EPISD employee. That's just the request. I'm not sure. They might not get it done. But I kind of feel for teachers, and I'm always going to be on the teacher side.
Of course, most of them just started an 8-week vacation, so that's a nice part of the job, right?
Well, you're not getting a salary for those 8 weeks, so a lot of teachers have to take on another job.
Well, you're probably not an hourly worker. You probably get your salary.
No, I know that there's something where you're not getting paid for the summer months or something. Like a lot of teachers have to do extra work.
Well, I'm sure you might need extra money, but what I'm saying is I think your salary this is your yearly salary. It's not like you don't get a paycheck.
Any teachers out there, if you're listening,
explain to us.
Even if there's, I'm sure they can structure their payments so they don't all of a sudden have zero income coming in. That Tracy will call. He was a teacher. He would know.
What would you be super shocked if you found out they don't get income during those months?
If their income goes to zero for the months that they're off for summer break, I would be pretty shocked by that.
All right, moving on. A county court judge has dismissed 59 cases against migrants accused of participating in that border riot in April near El Paso's Lower Valley after ruling his court had no jurisdiction. County Court of Law Judge Ruben Morales has dismissed the cases against migrants, and he did it on June 6th. That's according to El Paso Public Defender Kelly Childress. Quote, the judge ruled that filing of the charges was done in a way that was improper with respect to constitutional and statutory procedure. None of these problems have been at the fault of the judge or my clients. It's been very frustrating to watch this happen over and over again. This is the third dismissal of these charges while these people have had to sit in jail. The migrants were charged right after that alleged riot, but those charges were dismissed on a similar ruling. So I guess they're trying to figure out, do we have authority to charge illegal migrants?
I think part of it could be that they realize that if you start criminal proceedings, that means they're going to be staying in the country. I think they might be doing this to expel them more quickly.
It sounds like there's some federal versus some jurisdictional issues.
When you were saying the person was frustrated, I immediately thought, they're frustrated because he's not charging them with felony crimes.
No, this is the public defender who's defending them.
Yeah, but she's upset that they had to sit in jail as long as they did.
Yes, and that's the third dismissal. But I can imagine how many people are going, Biden, this is the Biden administration.
You riot and attack law enforcement, and then you don't even get charged with a crime?
We got a call. Oh, no, but it's not about the teacher thing. All right, moving on. Playing cards could someday help solve some murder cases in Florida. Attorney General Ashley Moody rolled out a new initiative
Oh, my
yesterday.
God. Is it a deck of cards with the most wanted, like how they put out the Iraqi list of everybody that they wanted the soldiers to kill in Iraq? You remember those?
Mm-hmm.
I have a deck of those.
You do?
Uh-huh.
You have like an Osama bin Laden trading card?
This was specific to Iraq.
Okay.
So these were all
Abu
Iraqi.
Zubaydah or...
Yeah, and all of them. I mean, the Ace of Spades or the King of Diamond, whatever the highest card was Saddam Hussein. But I think his sons were both jacks, for instance. Yeah, somebody from Fort Bliss brought one back and gave it to me.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, the Florida Attorney General's Office, the Florida Association of Crime Stoppers, and the Florida Sheriff's Association and the Florida Department of Corrections will be distributing playing cards to prisons and jails. The cards feature the names and faces of homicide victims.
Oh, all right. So a little twist there. So these are the victims.
Moody says the goal is to generate new leads and insights from inmates to help solve long-standing criminal investigations. This isn't the first time the cards have been used to crack cold cases. The last time they did solve a cold case.
Tracy called in to tell us about whether teachers just suddenly stop getting paid when summer vacation hits, or how it works.
Yeah, in reference to the teacher pay, what I do remember is when I first started teaching, and again, this is back in 1987, they gave us an option. They said you could either take your year-long salary over 12 pay periods or 10 pay periods. And I guess the idea was that, hey, you might go get a job in the summer, you might, whatever, that you might have other source of income, and so that you could sort of, you'd get more per each month if you took it every 10. But I never knew anybody who took 10 paychecks. It seems like everybody I knew always took the 12 without getting a check. So as I say, again, this is, a long time ago, but at the time you were given an option of either taking 10 or 12 paychecks during the course of the year. But everybody I knew always took the 12. I don't know if that will answer your question. But
it does.
That's kind of what I thought is like, if anything, they give you an option, and probably most people would say, well, spread it out so I'm getting like a consistent income flow. But listen to Tracy talk about 1987 when he started teaching. It reminded me that in my hometown, some of the teachers did work summer jobs, and it was a small town. There were only 11,000 people in the town. So you would see your teacher at their summer job. Your teacher might be taking your Sonic order, for instance.
Wow, that must have been weird.
And two of my teachers, Mr. Bridges and Mr. Hutchinson, both worked at my dad's factory during the summer.
That's interesting.
And my first summer after my senior year, I worked at my dad's factory, and I would see Mr. Bridges and Mr. Hutchinson, and I would call them Mr. Bridges and Mr. Hutchinson.
Oh, Mr. Hutchinson. Well, were they different guys when out of school?
Not to me. I mean, I still it was still the student teacher dynamic. I couldn't get around that.
Let's go get a round of drinks.
I was 17, so
let's go pick up some broads.
No, they were just like the same personality they were in class. How about we get a break in here?
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
We'll do that. Here is your late night roundup. If you didn't stay up watching TV, they were on making jokes, making with the funny business. We got a recap for you. And here it is, your late night roundup on the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Here we go.
Kia is recalling 463,000 SUVs because the front seats can catch on fire. Kia recalled the cars, then Kia owners were like, hey, why aren't you coming again?
Scientists have confirmed that a family discovered a rare T-Rex fossil while hiking in the North Dakota Badlands that turned out to be a rare juvenile skeleton of a Tyrannosaurus Rex, which scientists are calling Teen Rex. They've determined that it's an adolescent, partly from its size, but mostly from the fact that even when you were talking directly to it, it wouldn't take off its headphones.
The U.S. Coast Guard has announced it has seized nearly 5,000 pounds of cocaine from a Florida port, a huge relief for all the nearby boats carrying 10,000 pounds.
I'm Daniel Paulus, and whether you're wrapping up your workday,
95.5 KLAQ and Papa Roach with Last Resort. It's just after 9 o'clock. Steve Kaplowitz is back with us.
The Kaplowitz.
Steve's son, Joel, is here also, and he just did a great card trick for us.
He did.
That left me scratching my head. But I told you, he really has whatever the spark is of magic.
The pattern, yeah. Steve, I have an interesting question for you.
Yes.
Do you have your will all sorted out?
Oh, jeez.
No, that's a really good question.
Good God.
And I'm happy you mentioned that because
it's something you've been needing to do,
no,
right?
Yes.
Yeah,
the answer is no,
Yeah.
but we've been talking about it the last couple of years, and most likely before the end of this year, have everything ready and sorted and ready to go.
I've been trying to convince Buzz to do this thing.
I get real suspicious anytime somebody brings it up. I'm like, why do you want me to have it?
Because you know why?
Because everybody should be talking about that.
Right, I know, but I'm
But
just very,
specifically-
I doubt people's motives.
I don't blame you.
Specifically me, you know why? I know when he does pass away, I'm going to have to deal with something. I'm going to have to do something.
You feel like you're going to have to manage the estate
I'm going to have to do, they're going to ask me for something. I'm going to be like, he didn't.
You just assume that I'm going to pass before you do.
I think that's a guarantee at this point.
We got a call for you.
Neither
Nicole.
of you
Oh, my
are
God.
taking care of yourselves the way
Yeah,
you
we're
should.
not really taking care of ourselves.
Right. None of us are. Neither out of the two of us, neither of us are planning to hit 100.
Hey, Nico, I have an experiment for you to try, buddy. Next time you go out and do karaoke to 3 a.m. in the morning, don't smoke cigarettes. Trust
Okay.
me. I know it's hard. Trust me. When
It
I go out
is.
drinking, I love to cry. I love having a cigarette in my hand.
Oh, it's the
but
best.
I wake up the next morning feeling horrible. Even if I just take a few hits off of one cigarette, as opposed to if I go out drinking all night, I don't smoke any cigarette. I wake up fine the next morning, dude. It's the cigarettes that are getting you, man. Trust me. Try it and report back to the queue. Have a good one, guys.
I'd never heard that before, but can cigarettes make your hangover worse?
I kind of, you know what? I kind of agree with him
Interesting.
because I don't think I get as good as a sleep. I think I might be wheezing at night. I think I might be coughing at night.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you've heard, but recent scientific studies have shown that smoking cigarettes may not be great for your health.
Wheezy.
Yeah, they came out with this like 60 years ago.
Yeah,
okay?
but I only smoke all natural tobacco, organic.
I saw a meme. Somebody had said, "Hey, vape smokers, did you know that there is a completely organic, all natural version of vapes?" And then it's just a picture of a pack of cigarettes.
I will give that a try. Yeah.
Cappy, let's talk a little sports here for a second. So, the NBA Finals get started again tomorrow.
That's
and
correct.
For 2 games, it's going to be at Dallas.
That's right. Games 3 and 4.
Dallas is down. The Mavericks are down 2-0 to the Celtics. The Celtics are really the road warriors of the league, though, this year, right?
They've been terrific.
They've been terrific on the road. They've been terrific at home.
When's the last time the Celtics have won?
Not that long ago.
Not that long ago.
No.
You don't have to go back to like the 80s or anything, Larry Bird days.
No, they had
some really good teams.
They have, and I believe I think they won with Kevin Garnett.
Do
when
they
he was
still
with them.
play on that wonky parquet floor that all the players? We should have. God, there were so many questions I had from Michael Cooper last week that I never got around to. But you've heard people talk about that floor at Boston
But it's not the same as it was. It's not the same as the 80s.
There were dead spots in it. Like you had to know where the dead spots in the wood were.
Oh yeah. I mean that's the ultimate home court advantage. That's why part of the reason why they were so great in the 80s. They knew everything, the ins and outs of that stadium and that floor. So you're right. Dallas, by the way, they've won 1 NBA Finals. It was back in 2011. And
that was in the Nowitzki,
the Dirk Nowitzki era. That's right.
And Kevin Nash was probably
Steve Nash.
Steve Nash. Usually,
Kevin Nash was a professional
is,
wrestler.
Big Show.
No, that's exactly. He was a good wrestler back in the day. Diesel. But yes, so we'll see what happens. I mean, look, in the first 2 games, like take game 2, for example, Luka has a triple-double, but he also has 8 turnovers, 5 in the second half. He scored 23 of his 32 points in the first half, and by the time the second half rolled around, nobody else really stepped up. Kyrie Irving has got to start playing
I thought
bigger.
Kyrie, I was watching the game off and on as I was doing stuff, and I thought, boy, Kyrie's been kind of quiet this game.
He has. In fact, the Celtics have his number. They have really shut him down. Not just these 2 games, but historically, they just know how to play him so well. And he's got to step up if they're going to have a chance. That, to me, is a big X factor. And the Mavericks defensively have to keep the Celtics out of the paint. That's been a hard part, too, for them because Boston's been making a living inside, and they've been making Dallas pay.
Last night, game 2, they had back-to-back games on Sunday and Monday night. Game 2, the Florida Panthers defeat the Edmonton Oilers 4-1.
The Oilers have scored 1 goal. Impossible to win like that. The Panthers are full marks for winning their 2 home games at a 2-0 series lead.
Is winning 4-1 in hockey the equivalent of winning a basketball game by 30 points?
Well, it was a closer game, but they had a couple of empty net goals, and that was really the big difference. I mean, Edmonton led this game 1-0, and then the Panthers just came back. Listen, if you watch hockey, this Florida Panthers team, they are built to win the Stanley Cup. And when I say they're built, meaning they've got everything. They have defense, they have offense, they're physical, they're veterans and battle-tested. It's one of those teams that when they put it together, now you see in the playoffs, they're built to win. Not to say Edmonton's not, just the Panthers are so talented. And, Edmonton's going to have a tough run because now they have to win 4 of the next 5 if they are going to really be able to come back and win this series. And that's not going to be easy against what is right now looking like a superior Panthers team.
Do you like watching the hockey games?
Love it. I was watching it last night.
Steve loves hockey.
I was watching
Steve
last night. I had that on.
Loves hockey. And I heard a recording one time of Steve when he was like 2.5 years old, and he's pretending to be the announcer for a New York Rangers hockey game. He sounds just like a little Steve.
Wait.
I was 3 years old.
Who took the recording? Your dad?
Yeah, my dad. My dad had a tape recorder.
He shoots, he scores.
Yes, that's true. It was 1976,
That's
and
amazing.
I used to grab his tape recorder and just pretend I was a play-by-play guy. So yeah, it's kind of funny. But in those days, we lived in New York, and the games were always on in our house. So that was kind of a natural thing for me to gravitate to a play-by-play guy.
Now, why Steve still has a Brooklyn accent after being here for 47 years?
He does not have a Brooklyn accent.
If you listen, when I go back and I hear people in New York, it is such a thick accent. There is no New York accent for me anymore. You just have to listen to New York sports or New York. Just go there and you'll talk to people. And when you're in the city and you're talking to them, you realize, oh no, I sound like a Texan. New Yorkers don't say y'all.
Do you say y'all?
At times I'll say y'all. Yeah.
You all.
Y'all.
Hey,
What's
y'all.
up with y'all?
Hey, y'all. What's going on, y'all?
So I think I heard this on our partner station, 600 ESPN, yesterday. I was listening.
Wow.
Yeah. And they said a Canadian team hasn't won the NHL, and I might have heard it wrong. They said either 2 decades or 3 decades since a Canadian team has won the Stanley Cup. Is that right?
Yeah, well, listen, it's been a huge.
That's got to really hurt.
Toronto
them, right?
and Montreal haven't won in forever, so that's the first thing, right? Because those are the 2 original teams. That's part of the original 6, okay? And then I'm trying to think of the last.
That must really get in their craw. If you're a Canadian, it's like, hey, this is our sport. This is like if America didn't lead the world in obesity, we'd be like, what are we doing? We're slacking here. Come on.
The Edmonton Oilers had a great run in the 80s. But you got to remember, in the 80s, they had Wayne Gretzky, they had Mark Messier, Grant Fuhr, Yari Curry. They were terrific. They had a dynasty going. But that was 40 years ago, practically.
Uh-huh.
Hey, we have a live call.
Oh, yes. Thank you. I didn't know that at one point. Oh, boy. It must be a call for Steve. It's Sergio. Hi, Sergio.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Doing good. What's up, Sergio?
Great. In fact, I bumped into Steve this past Sunday. He always asks for Buzz why he's not at the Chihuahuas games.
That is true. That is a good point, and is the truth. I get that a lot.
I always
when I'm
have
at
a
the
good time at Chihuahuas games. I mean, how many do you go to a year, Sergio?
Every game. I work there as a gig, but that's my gig.
Yes. I see. Matter of fact, he's always in the section that I'm
Steve
coming down in.
Hey, why doesn't Sergio ever show up for my job?
But no, that's the truth. Every time I see him, he always, first off, he's about as friendly as you're ever going to get. Huge fan of you, huge fan of the show, and he's always asking for you.
Where's Buzz?
And I always have the same answer. It's August. But it's the next day game. Yeah.
Was it a day game?
No. But that's what I said. That's the next time you'll be coming by when it's a day game in August.
Okay.
What else is up, Sergio?
And my question to Steve is, how far are we on having electronic calls in the MLB of strikes and balls, considering all the commotion and all the bad calls that the umpires are doing?
So it's interesting because in AAA, the Chihuahuas, they actually have robot umps. For 3 of the 6 games, I think.
Boy,
and then,
they make them look really human-like these days.
They do. So do you know what they do, right? They have what they call an automatic ball strike system. It's an ABS, and they kind of like buzz the umpire in so that way he knows exactly. So when he makes the call, it's from the automatic system.
So he's just reading the results. He's
not
more
even
like
reading. They're like, I guess,
telling them what to say.
And then
so he's basically the umpire. Basically, has as much power as Vanna White on Wheel of Fortune.
Exactly. Maybe even less. And then because Vanna has seniority. And then on weekends, what happens is umpires are able to call balls and strikes the way they normally do, but each team gets 3 challenges. And if you win the challenge, you don't lose another. You keep it.
This is where?
In AAA.
Wait. The umpires make the call.
Right. then all of a sudden the batter, catcher, or pitcher can challenge the call. So let's say they call a ball and the catcher thinks it's a strike. He can challenge the call. Then on the scoreboard, they show you where the pitch was compared to the automated system. And if the catcher, let's say, wins the challenge, they keep their 3. If they lose their challenge, they're down to 2.
Okay.
And that's how that works. So that's what AAA is doing to experiment.
What are the chances that moves into MLB?
It could happen because there are
I think
some
it depends on how good the umpires union is. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
and all of this stuff has got to be like anybody who's in umpiring. You know, and these guys get to travel around the country, around the world sometimes. And they get paid a lot of money to be umpires, and now they're being replaced by
robot umps.
And you're going to show my errors up there on the screen for everybody to say.
And by the way, some of these umpires have crazy strike zones where they're literally 2 feet off the plate. So if they were to go to robot umpires, it would be a uniform system, which I know batters and pitchers would like. But part of what makes baseball is that every umpire has their own strike zone, and a lot of them are different from each other and kind of makes the sport unique, But there are some terrible calls that are just, awful balls and strikes that, some umpires have. So it is interesting. I mean, they've been testing this now for a couple of years in AAA. They just like they tested the clock. Remember, they had the pitch clock, which is now in the big leagues. So it's very possible because AAA is a lot of the times the beta testing ground for Major League Baseball. So I could see it happen
in the next 5-10 years.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or sooner.
Yeah. But like you said, it also depends on how strong the umpires union is because they're going to say no, we don't want that.
All right, Sergio,
and
come
the
see.
Players Association as well.
Yep.
All right. I'll see you at the ballpark soon, Sergio. Okay.
Please do, sir.
Okay. All right. Thanks for calling.
Great.
All right, we'll see you later.
He's a huge fan of yours, by the way.
Great.
And he's terrific. Part of the great staff out at Southwest University Park.
Caitlin Clark was talking yesterday. I'm not a body language reader, but there was a Seinfeld bit about you could tell when somebody's not really being honest or telling the truth if they touch their nose, and she was touching her nose so much when she said she wasn't bothered that she wasn't selected for the Olympic team.
Oh, she was bothered.
Do you notice that every time Caitlin Clark gives an answer to a question, she always does like the politically right thing. Always
Budge was just saying that yesterday that she's very eloquent.
Yeah. I think she has a lot of poise.
Yes.
I really think she's an outstanding young woman.
I agree.
And how do you feel about it? Other than how does the WNBA not put the most talked about basketball player from any league right now? I think you can make an argument, right, that Caitlin Clark is probably more talked about than even LeBron James.
Is being talked about the same as being good?
But here's the thing, too. I guess you're also worried that if you put her on the Olympic team, she will be the distraction to the entire team. So nobody's going to be wanting to talk about everybody else. All you're going to want to do is talk about Caitlin, and she'll be under the microscope for every single game in the Olympics. So by not having her on, now you've kind of put the focus back on the team itself, all the other individual players. And I think it's interesting. Maybe they've seen all of what's happened so far since she's gone into the WNBA, and maybe the USA national team doesn't want to deal with that in the Olympics. I don't know. But I was surprised like everybody else when you found out she was
things being equal, you take away the high level of publicity around Caitlin Clark. Would you say she has proven herself worthy to be on the Olympic team, or would they be putting her on because?
No, I feel like she'd be worthy of being on the Olympic team. Hey, if Christian Laettner can make the dream team.
No, Christian Laettner made the dream team and the 50 all-time players of the NBA. Christian Laettner,
I know,
who was great. A great college player.
Yes, he was.
A pretty good NBA player.
Right.
But not one of the 50 greats of all time.
Of course not. But I'm just saying, if Christian Laettner can make the dream team, Caitlin Clark can easily make the USA Olympic team. So, yes.
Steve, you want to talk about Dan Hurley turning down that $70 million?
It's interesting, isn't it? Everybody was kind of thinking this was going to be an offer that he couldn't refuse. Now, $70 million over 6 years is what? Just over $12 million a year, which is, it's a lot of money. But he's one of those guys.
You're the head coach of the Lakers.
I know, but he's an East Coast guy.
Okay.
Dan Hurley doesn't want to leave the Northeast. And I feel like he just listened to the Lakers to hear their offer, but do you really want to deal with LeBron James? If he's going to stay a Laker and you're Dan Hurley, LeBron's not going to take you seriously. He doesn't take any coach seriously. So Do you really want to go through that aggravation? I don't know if he does. So he knows he's got a great thing at UConn. He's won back-to-back NCAA championships. And now, he's probably also going to get a big raise. I mean, he's already making great money at UConn, but I'm sure they'll probably see what just happened with the Lakers, maybe give him another contract extension to keep him happy. And I don't think he's leaving. He's one of those East Coast guys I think will just probably stay at UConn for a long, long time.
Here's ESPN's Adrian
Wojnarowski.
How?
I know. Just call him Woj.
That's tougher than yours, man.
Just call him Wojnarowski.
Wojnarowski.
There you go.
Reports on why Dan Hurley may have chosen to stay at UConn.
I know we talked to, especially in the last few days, other coaches who made the jump. I think he had a lot of encouragement to do it if he felt ready. But I think the common theme he heard from people was, if you still feel like you've got things left to do in college, especially with his UConn team, that might be a reason to stay back. And ultimately, that's what Dan Hurley's done.
And remember this too, okay? He's won back-to-back national championships in the transfer portal NIL era. That's the same era that took a lot of the greatest coaches of the game and put them into retirement. That's the thing. Coach K, he doesn't want to have to deal with that anymore. Jay Wright from Villanova didn't want to have to deal with that. A lot of the greats of the game, Jim Boeheim, they don't want to mess with what college athletics has turned into right now with the paying of athletes in the portal. And you see what Dan Hurley's done. He's turned it into a nice dynasty he's building out there in Connecticut. So give him a lot of credit for staying. And now the Lakers have to figure out who they're going to, bring on as their next head coach.
All right. Are the Chihuahuas home this week or on the road?
They're on the road in Albuquerque, taking on the Isotopes from Isotopes Park. For you Simpsons
Isotopes
fans.
Park.
Yes, for you Simpsons fans. That's right.
Do they have Dancing Homer to entertain?
They do. They
really? They pay a guy, or do they have a mascot costume?
No, the mascot is an isotope guy. But when you go there is a thing you can pose with by Homer
with Dancing Homer.
Oh, that's
pretty.
There
were a couple of famous early Simpsons episodes. There was the one where it was like the nuclear plant employee team, and Mr. Burns recruited like Ken Griffey Jr. and he recruited Don
Mattingly,
Daryl Strawberry.
Yes, remember Don Mattingly was "Cut your hair, hippie."
Cut your hair, hippie.
Those are some of my favorite episodes, by the way, the older ones.
All right.
So yes.
Well, I appreciate you coming in, Steve. Thanks.
Hey, you got it, guys. Thanks for having us.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back more. The Buzz Adams Morning Show is on the way right after this.
While you're working away, we're working for you. Our job starting at
10 to 7:30 p.m. Feast on 6 different meats and 3 sides. For pricing information and reservations, visit DesertOakBarbecue.com.
Listen, what else you got to do in the morning? Wake up, El Paso.
Good morning show.
Buzz Adams is back. 95.5 KLAQ.
Boy, I haven't gotten to any of the prepared material that I had today. We kind of, started taking calls about various things. We got a lot of great calls.
A lot of great calls.
Remember this morning we were struggling to fill that board?
Yeah.
Now look at us.
Somebody.
Well, sometimes the show just takes on a life of its
Yeah,
own.
you never know when someone's going to show up with a shirt inside out.
I mean, that set us back 30 minutes. Was Nico's inside-out shirt. I'm looking over. Nico's in the middle of doing news. If you weren't listening, about an hour and a half ago, Nico's doing news. I look over and I notice his shirt is inside out and it's a button-up.
Have you never had to get dressed in the dark before either?
Yeah, all the time. That tells me
That's happened to you.
That tells me if you have to get dressed in the dark, that means there was somebody at your house and you didn't want to turn on the light for their benefit, because that's the only time that I do get dressed in the dark. So.
No comments.
Remember the guy who called in and said, you're feeling really bad today because you smoke cigarettes? And
I don't disagree. Yeah.
You hung out till 3 a.m. at a karaoke bar and smoked cigarettes.
Hey, morning show.
Yep.
That caller that called in about the cigarettes, it seems like there's something to that. In fact, just last night I was hearing, I heard a story about vape face, where people, these vape addicts, are prematurely aging as a result of all the vaping. So I'm sure there's a parallel there with cigarettes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So try to kick the habit, you vape addicts and cigarette junkies. Hey, have a good day, morning show. Bye-bye.
I thought...
Well, thank you, Big Daddy Poppy. I will try.
Big Daddy Delicious.
Sorry, Big Daddy Delicious.
When the vapes first came out, I thought the thing on them was, it's just water vapor.
Yeah, it's not.
So that
It's
was untrue?
That was untrue.
Remember the commercials that they ran for vapes was like, finally, a way for you to quit smoking. It was like a smoking cessation.
That's how it started.
Yeah.
And I remember actually having the vapes when they first came out as a cigarette replacement. It didn't work.
It's obviously there's more than just, it's just water vapor.
Right. It's burning glycerin and something else. And
I remember also shortly after they came out, you would see some people hitting them in the middle of a movie, like in a movie theater.
Yeah, you just see this cloud of smoke.
Right. And it's like, well, this doesn't seem right somehow. Oh, and he goes just taking a tug on the old plastic.
Hey, okay, this story just showed up in the prep, and I'm surprised that you and Joanna might not have seen it already. There is
Chick-fil-A summer camp?
Nope.
Buzz is having a moment with the prep service right now.
Yeah.
So
his favorite is down.
Again?
Yes.
All right. There's a influencer mom by the name of Neely Gracie, and she is getting.
Is she a member of the famous Gracie Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighting family?
She is, as a matter of fact. No, she's not. She is getting dragged by people online after a video she just posted of her kids at a pool. Okay, and it's the caption, that's what I was trying to play with the video for you. The caption on the video says, "Happy, the pool counts as a bath season to all who participate."
Happy, the pool counts as a bath season.
That's Buzz.
That's me.
That is Buzz. Well, she's getting dragged online by people who are saying, gross. No.
Gross.
Don't do that.
Basically what I've told Buzz.
Yeah, but you guys have not convinced me that there's anything wrong.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm like, I don't care.
I went 5 days. I went all 5 days without taking a formal shower.
Oh, come on. Don't be proud of that.
But hold on. And I realized, it's got those chemicals and chlorine and stuff. I do rinse that off.
Oh, you were doing a nice rinse.
With a garden hose.
That's what I was asking. Like, the chlorine doesn't make you all itchy?
I just
glad to know that you're at least using a hose to wash all that off.
Rinse the manguera.
For some reason, the hose water, the garden hose water, is so much warmer than the pool water. It feels like being in a warm shower.
All my hose are warm. Water.
Weird.
Okay. So I'm just curious if any other parents do this. Do you let your kids skip their bath if they've been in the swimming pool? Now, parents, let us know, because we have another giant child here that could use that advice. Some parents think that it does make a fair replacement for the real bath, but this mom on social media is now being hit with backlash. People have been saying comments like, "No way, pool day means it's definitely a bath night for my kids. So gross, chemicals, sunscreen, sweat, pee, and salt. I know you pee in that pool."
That's my pool.
I knew you pee in that pool.
If I do it, it's okay.
Yeah, but
I don't want anybody else doing it.
That doesn't well, and your dogs do it too, I'm sure.
Do you remember your kid? You remember hearing when you were a kid that they put stuff in the pool that makes your pee turn red or purple or whatever?
It makes it turn green. Yeah.
Totally fake, I found out.
Did you just pee one day?
No. There's no such product and never has
I looked it up.
It's okay if you peed.
No,
just tell us that that's what you did to conduct the experiment. You peed in the pool.
Okay, that's not the experiment. What I'm saying is the story that we got about there being a chemical that would turn your pee a certain color is as real as the Easter Bunny. That's what I'm saying.
And how did you find that out?
I saw it in an article.
You
one
peed
time.
in the pool.
Yeah, but
it's okay if you peed in the pool.
I have peed.
He's still peeing in the pool.
I have peed in pools, rivers, streams, brooks, ponds, lakes, and the ocean.
Creeks.
Yeah.
And the ocean.
I have peed in every kind of body of water you can imagine, so I don't have any secrets here.
Well, all the negative attention has totally surprised Gracie. She says she wasn't trying to start a controversy.
She's probably joking. I mean, that's kind of funny, right?
Yeah, it's funny.
Yes.
I don't know why people get so It's funny when we tease Buzz about it. Like, dude, you should be showering.
Right. But they're not your kids. What do you care?
Yeah, I don't care. If Buzz isn't my kid, I don't care.
He's kind of my kid. I kind of care.
Oh, you should.
Especially when I'm sitting next to him if we're watching a show.
He just smells of pool water
It's like, ew,
and pee.
your pee water is getting all over me. Every parent knows the epic battles.
You know, my pool is impossible to keep clean because it's surrounded by all these trees. I mean, every day it gets leaves and pine needles and pine cones and everything in it. And some people find that gross. I don't. You know, I can just skim it off with the pool skimmer, right?
There's times where I've been in a pool and then I take off my swimsuit and then there's like leaves in my boobs or something.
That's just called nature's loofah.
I think part of it is because when I was a kid, my earliest swimming experiences were in ponds or lakes
or brooks or streams or rivers.
We weren't concerned about a couple.
The same places you
Did
pee.
your mom make you take a bath after swimming in a creek?
I don't remember specifically, but yeah, probably. But our major concern was not leaves or pine needles. Our major concerns were snapping turtles and water moccasins.
Dude, them
Derek,
turtle, yeah.
Derek, we need to put you on payroll or something because you were so hilarious. Derek just wrote, I'd rather dip in the pool rather than using that Lumi deodorant all over my body.
That'll get rid of the smell fast.
Anyways, I thought this story was super interesting because it's just like what you do.
I got to hit this real quick and then we'll take a break. The verdict is in. Hunter Biden found guilty on all counts in gun case.
Shock.
They came back. I felt like yesterday they were really close to a verdict because because that's what all the people on the news were saying, but they came back in fairly early in the day. A federal jury found Hunter Biden guilty on all 3 federal felony gun charges, concluding that he violated laws meant to prevent drug addicts from owning firearms. How do they know he did this? Well, because he wrote a book about his struggles with addiction and kind of admits it. He also did the audio for the audio book. The conviction marks the first time a president's immediate family member has been found guilty of a crime during their father's term in office. That sounds like it would have a lot more sting to it if a former president hadn't just been convicted of 34 felonies a couple of weeks ago, right?
Right.
I mean, when you go, president's immediate family member?
That's scandalous. Well, a president's more scandalous.
Yeah. Hunter Biden could face up to 25 years in prison and a fine of up to $750,000. Though he will likely receive far less than the maximum as a first-time offender. I don't know, man. Like, I think there's so much of what's going on, and I'll admit it, both with Biden and with Trump, is just so politically charged. There are some people out there who probably want to give him the death penalty.
Hunter Biden deserved this. Like, he was guilty of it. Now, whether these charges would have been brought
against a normal person, presidential,
right from the beginning, who knows? But he is guilty, and he deserves whatever punishment.
Now, hopefully, he'll be out for Father's Day, which is on Sunday. I hope they don't just lock him up before Father's Day.
A Father's Day gift idea from President Biden.
Hi, folks. It's President Biden, the president. I want to give Dad the gift he really wants this Father's Day. We'll give him the gift of not going to court and not smoking crack. Yeah, trust me on this. Dad would be thrilled if you didn't do that. Even though if you did it, you're still a good boy. Oh, and don't have a laptop. Sell your laptop or smash it with a hammer. Dad would be so happy if you did that. But you're still a good boy, and I love you, and you're a... Oh, hell, I forgot what I was talking about. Left top.
This has been a Father's Day gift idea from President Biden.
Hey, it's Daniel Paulus. I'll be along starting at 3 with everything from Aerosmith to Nirvana.
Rubicon, $23,000. Chevrolet Malibu, $15,500. Casa Buick GMC, Montana at Airway.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Interman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
All right, we have a few minutes to wrap up here. Don't forget, since this is Tuesday, it's going to be a 2 for Tuesday. Listen for featured double shots throughout the day once Glenn takes over here in about 15 or 20 minutes.
Yeah, double shots.
I've got a story here from the paper today, the El Paso Times, and I always do this to prove that I am the last
remaining customer
who has a subscription to the physical newspaper.
Hey, can I let you know about some of the shows I'm going to be doing?
Yeah, hit me with those real quick.
I'm going to be in Sierra Blanca, guys, this Saturday.
Do you know which direction that is, east or west?
Sierra Blanca?
Yeah.
It's east.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
All right.
Yeah, that's just drive through. There's a checkpoint I have to go through.
Yeah, right. It's called the Sierra
frequently.
Blanca checkpoint. Wait, you're performing in Sierra Blanca?
I am performing in Sierra Blanca at Que Locos Snack Bar.
I was going to say, we're at like a barn or something?
Yeah, it's a restaurant bar.
No, a barn.
No, not a barn. And it's going to be me, Ponchi Herrera, Anthony Austin Brown, and Iggy Samaniego will all be performing.
Those are some heavy hitters on the El Paso comedy
and
scene.
then the week right afterwards, Valente from the George Lopez show. He was the Ernie. He was the sidekick.
Oh, yeah. I remember Ernie.
He was going to be in Rio Doso. I'm going to be opening for him. You can get all your tickets at MassiveTix.com. MassiveTix.com.
Yeah, my dogs had some of those on them a few years ago. Massive Ticks.
They still have them.
No, they don't. All right, so let me read the headline. Documents unveil reasons behind closure of massage parlor. And I just have to put in as a personal note, I've told this story a few times that one of our friends decided they were going to treat us the entire morning show, but it was a secret. So we were just given the address of where to show up, right? And we thought, he's going to take us to lunch or whatever.
All right.
No, he was taking us
he took you to eat out.
No. Listen to me thoroughly. He took us to this place. We thought, it's going to be a restaurant, to get foot massages in the middle of the day. And let me tell you, 100%, this does not look like a sexually oriented business. There was nothing sexy about Joy Spa Massage in the Colony Cove 3 shopping center.
So,
but when I got there, I was like, first of all, like I was extremely uncomfortable just having somebody touch my feet in such a familiar
So you
way.
did get it. That's what I was going to ask.
No,
Did you get your feet?
And it wasn't supposed to be
weird the whole time.
I was very bizarre because the women are like these 60-year-old little Asian women, and it's like fluorescent lighting in a suspended ceiling, just like we have here. Nothing exotic or erotic about it in any way. But apparently, he was just there for the foot massage because he invited our female co-host, too. Everybody was invited. And that's all we did. We got a foot massage, and I was uncomfortable with that. It's this place. People have heard me tell this story know that I've always said there was nothing remotely sexual about it.
Back then, maybe things have changed.
Suspicions were raised when Joy Spa Massage appeared to be always open. Its male customers, and they were almost exclusively male customers, parked far away.
Buzz Adams.
And neighbors could hear, quote, sounds of people having sex, according to court documents. After years of investigation, the El Paso County Attorney's Office got a court order this week temporarily shutting down the West Side Massage Parlor. It says here that Joy Spa Massage has been under various federal, state, and local police investigations looking into erotic services. The massage parlor is at the Colony Cove Shopping Center. They got a picture of it in the paper, but I felt the need to look a little closer. So this is Joy Massage.
I was going to say, I know exactly where it is.
It's right next to Tom's Optical and Dance Palace, which apparently gives dance lessons to little girls.
I've been in that shopping center getting food, or it's in the shopping center.
They got a great Chinese restaurant there.
Yes,
yeah. No, that's I forget what Golden something or other.
I think it's called Mugu
Gai, whatever.
No,
it's a good Chinese restaurant though.
And I remember not that long ago seeing the Joy Massage place and going, Man, I wish I had enough money for a massage.
Meaning an actual massage?
An actual massage, like my back hurting.
You're not saying like a gentleman's latte?
No, I definitely.
Thank you, Joanna. See, every now and then I test to make sure you guys are doing what I advise you do. That's watch the movie Idiocracy every 6 months. It's the yardstick by which we measure the decline of civilization.
Can we get a latte? We don't have time for
we don't have time for a job. So on one side is Tom's Optical. On the other side is Dance Palace, which I believe, I don't know for sure, but I think it's like dance lessons for
And right
children.
in the middle is a happy ending.
Is the happy ending place. Again, I cannot believe, because when I went in there, it was like, oh, there's no way there is anything remotely sexy going on in this place. So in 2020, FBI's agents served a search warrant at the same place. Agents interviewed a woman working at the spa who spoke Mandarin Chinese with the help of a translator. According to the interview, the woman, she said she had arrived the day before the search warrant was carried out. The woman told the FBI that she worked 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, and was usually paid in cash. She would occasionally sleep at the parlor and live with 4 or 5 other women at an apartment across the street. Oh, man, this just sounds like sex trafficking, right?
Yeah.
She was only allowed to leave the apartment on her day off. The woman said she paid $10 per day as rent to stay at the apartment, which provided her with rice, flour, and oil to make food. It goes into a lot. She had just, she was an asylum seeker. She'd immigrated from China about 5 years prior, went back and forth between Los Angeles and Dallas. And it says where her adult son and his family reside. So now I'm thinking maybe those 60-year-old women are the ones doing, I thought,
wait a minute.
When I first started reading the story, I was like, well, they must have had like a dungeon or a back room or something.
Apparently, it's very office-like.
Or a basement. She told agents she never performed sexual acts, but what are you going to do? Joy Spa was, quote, actually pretty clean compared to the massage parlors in Los Angeles, the document stated. Additionally, massages are more expensive in El Paso than Los Angeles. Wouldn't guess that.
What?
The rates at Joy Spa were the same regardless of your race, and Joy Spa did not refuse service to anyone based on race. There are a few other items in here. This one is interesting. Residents told an investigator that Joy Spa Massage appeared to be open every day at all hours, whether 6 a.m. or midnight. They never saw women customers entering the spa. Now, this one is a grabber here. I'll tell you. I'll tell you why. Customers were mainly men in their 60s, often driving very nice and expensive cars, as well as younger men.
Interesting.
I think in the article I read, too, that they heard sex sounds coming from...
Neighbors said they could hear the sounds of people having sex.
How is that possible? That's like a business area.
I think
the little girls dancing next to her.
No,
legs?
I think they mean
or a Chinese restaurant.
They're immediate neighbors that share a wall with them, I think. So probably like Tom at Tom's Optical.
Yeah, imagine getting your prescriptions changed and you're like, whoa, what's going on there?
If the massage chairs are rocking, don't come a knocking, I guess.
God, that is my biggest fear. Like, I need a massage. There's something wrong with my back.
And you go in and
But
it
I'm
turns
scared
out
of
to be
going to one and then bam, a raid.
How did Joanna get arrested? Prostitution.
Got caught in a prostitution
She was
ring.
at a massage parlor.
The parlor's customers suspiciously parked away from Joy Spa, even if parking spots were open in front of the business. Well, it's Colony Cove 3. I mean, their parking spots open all the time. Some customers parked in the rear of the establishment, although I assume that cost extra. So a couple of things interesting. Yeah, I think what we were there for was completely innocent, and that our friend was the one guy in all of El Paso who actually went there for a massage, because that's all it was. It was a foot massage.
Yeah, who you told me it is. He probably was just like, what a nice place. You get a nice foot massage.
What a nice place.
Also, I used to, I don't want to narrow it down. Listen, I don't want to betray anybody's confidence here. So let's just say, like, the men's locker room of a local country club.
Uh-huh.
And I would hear all these stories from these guys about how many different happy ending places there are in El Paso. And so I had already had this experience with the foot massage.
Yeah.
And so I told them, all right, you guys, you're full of crap, because I went in one of these places and they asked me what it was. And I told them where it was. And they go, oh, yeah, no, that's definitely one of them. And I was like, you mean those 60-year-old grandmotherly looking Chinese ladies?
Yeah, Abe in the app chat says, tell Buzz that ass is ass, no matter how old the foot massage parlor staff is.
Ass is ass.
All right.
Turns out you don't have to tip. They tip you.
What does that mean?
Just the tip.
Okay. I don't even understand that. Also, I could not
agree. You don't give them a raise, they'll give you a raise.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, Joanna, teach the comedian how to deliver jokes.
It's called an alley-oop, okay?
Mm-hmm. God, there are some other, just the stores that are on either side is
But how was the food?
Again, our female co-host was like, oh, that was the best. It was so relaxing. But I think she was just being nice. I was just freaked out and weirded out.
Think about that. I go be touched like that.
I go to an Asian massage parlor and I am mortified that there's so much physical contact going on in a regular foot massage. I don't go get massages just because I'm not comfortable with somebody I don't know touching, even in a non-sexual. I don't know. It's just weird. So with Father's Day coming up, they say that
don't take him to a massage parlor.
Or, do.
Hey, come here, you dumb shit. He's your father. Have a beer, I won't tell you. He's always been there for you. Never pay in advance. You never pay in advance or the hooker will just run. He's given you good advice. Never to the clinic and offer to pay, but that's it. He taught you things that your mother never would. You click on this to open the internet browser, then you can browse for porn. I'm coming, honey. This Father's Day, don't give your father another tie. Give him something he can really use. If you like sex, son, don't ever get married. The prepaid lap dance card from Spearmint Oil. Perfect for Father's Day. Because no matter how bad your father was, drive out into the desert and bury her. There's some things your mom just can't help you with.
Well, that's it. Show's over. What? We just started.
Yeah, well, the show's over.
That's the end.
That's not the end.
Why, yes, it is.
Right, that's the end.
And that's the end. That's the end.
The morning show will be back tomorrow at 6 a.m. Now.